Well, good morning.
We made it. We're here. Oh, God, it's live.
Everyone have energy? Are we live? WillyLo gaming creator. You had to put that down there like they didn't know. WillyLo gaming creator.
I've had that the entire time.
I'm not joking around. No, it used to be just WillyLo, the chump. Now it's WillyLo verified, baby. Woo!
I'm going to go back in the videos. I'm going to take screenshots. I have not changed that forever now.
Because he's a big Twitch hero. What's up, buddy? How's partner life treating you? Partner life? Don't slurp into the mic. That's disgusting.
I do what I want. No, it's good. The stress is behind me now. I don't have to worrying about numbers and analytics anymore.
You've passed the stress on to me. I appreciate it.
Of course. That's what we're here to do.
Yeah, I think that's working. Pretty crazy how you have ground out Twitch partner. Once again, congrats. Our channel here is heading to 100,000 subs, which is a big milestone on YouTube. And we almost did it like pretty close to the same day.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's pretty insane. Like I was saying to you in the car, like, what are the mathematics on something like that? 1 in a million.
Yeah, like the timing of it, right? Yeah, and yeah, like 100,000 people though. That's crazy. Yeah. We're doing big things here, friends.
It's crazy. We're rocking and rolling.
Who thought these nerds who used to just be selling video games together would be here on the internet now, doing things?
Selling ourselves now, not selling games. Although we still talk about games. We just took the corporate BS out of our lives.
We don't talk about selling ourselves though. That's an entirely different site.
Onlyfans.com/WillyLo/partner/discount deal. Put in code JB.
Save 10% now.
So welcome everybody to the Hot Soft show. We got a brand new feature that's in its beta stage right now on StreamYards, which is you can see the chat now right on the screen, which I think is pretty cool.
About time.
We threw that up on there. Yeah, I agree. Thanks to everyone who tuned in yesterday for the conclusion of Doom the Dark Ages. That was a really fun game. Overall, solid. I recommend it. And I was talking a bit about our adventure, Will. I don't know. We're trying to avoid spoilers. You were in and out kind of thing. We talked about our adventure that we went on Tuesday.
Yep.
So what happened Tuesday, Will?
So usually what I do beforehand is I look through like a few places in Ontario, and a lot of the times all you can do is base it off of photos, right?
Yeah.
From what they see on like Google reviews and what people recommend. And this place looked like it had a bunch of stuff from what they showed on their Google profile. But yeah, unfortunately when we got there was not a whole lot.
Yeah, it was a great place. So it was again, it's in Sarnia, and we're not slamming the place by any means, but when I get in there, I have a pretty good idea of, the story we need to craft, and okay, this is an interesting section that we can kind of shoot in that. And it was just small, that's all. But it was cool because it was half barcade they served, a half, what would you say, like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh stuff.
Yeah. And then like and then another part is like, I guess we would quarter it almost, because they have like the barcade part where it had like a couple pinball machines and arcade machines, and then they had a virtual reality section.
I missed that.
Yeah, so there's a virtual reality section as well, and then there was like the bar area, and then the area with the games, and then there was cards as collectibles as well too.
Yeah, and they had a couple of IKEA like size glass cabinets with some pretty good stuff in it. But there wasn't enough to shoot, unfortunately, guys. So our next shoot date will be at the Big Time Gamers.
Big Time Gamers, baby.
June 7th, which is a Saturday. Anyone local to us who wishes to join us, please feel free. We're going to have fun there. But we can
all hunt together live.
We can all hunt together. Yeah, we're probably going to live stream. We're definitely going to create a video. So it's going to be fun. So I encourage all of you, just message us. We're up for carpooling too, of course, depending on how many of there are.
Jay always carpools because he doesn't drive.
Yeah, I don't drive on the highway too well. Depending on how many there are, I should say, we could stuff a few in Will's backseat, couple in the trunk, the usual stuff.
Yeah.
Usual stuff. I want to give shout outs to everybody who's here. JT, first as always, singing Rebecca Black because it's Friday.
Gotta get down on Friday.
Oh, you know it. God bless you, Rebecca. She's got a booming career now.
Does she?
Oh, yeah. She's a big pop star. Yeah.
Oh.
That was like, I think the story was she wanted to record a song for her birthday. I think this is the urban legend, and her parents basically bought her that, paid for her to do that. They shot a video. That's why she kind of looks like super nervous, right? Because she wasn't a pop star back then.
Yeah.
It's one of the most viewed YouTube videos, though. The stat's insane if you look it up. I can't remember what it was. We looked it up one day here. Den, good morning. It's time to wake up, says Chun-Li. Well, that is not an option, my friend. But Chun-Li, nonetheless. The four bosses, because we're talking about Champion Edition coming on the Sega Genesis today. Stacy, the lovely Stacy is here. Average Gamer. He's not so average. Bailey D, what is up, buddy? Best name ever. Good to see you again. Bat Stan is here to stop the jokester. Matt Tracker Ruben, I was watching the sub count last night. I saw you jump up 100 within an hour. Dude, I'm like, my heart's going big time. I'm super nervous. I'm like what Will was like the last month. It's a very nerve-wracking, but in a good way. HGC is here. And Raj the Rainmaker with a deleted message.
Deleted.
Mr. Me, what's going on? How do you guys find alcohol affects your gaming? I find if I drink beer, I just can't enjoy games or entertainment apart from I'm going through the hangover part. Will, do you want to answer that?
See, for me, I've never been a one that really like drinks a bunch to that point. Something like it's just a social thing. So usually it just kind of makes the event more fun. Usually it'd be like if we're grouping, like back in the day, we used to head to Jay's house a lot to do Rock Band and Guitar Hero and stuff. And I feel like, you get a little drinky poo in you and makes the night a little bit better. You get to ease into some singing.
Yeah. I don't drink at all anymore. So, Mr. Me, for stuff like Rock Band and Guitar Hero, it, like Will said, to me, it enhanced the experience. It just made it a lot more fun. And I'm not the greatest of singers, so it put all your fears out the door. You know what I mean? The liquid courage and all that, screaming to the mic.
100,000 subs. We're gonna do a Rock Band stream. Jay's gonna be singing all night.
Let's do it. Stuff like Warcraft and stuff that's a little bit more that you have to think a bit more about. I know a lot of my guild members didn't like it, but most of them were drinking too. All depends. No, I got you, Mr. Me. I got what you're saying. Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with it.
No,
we're not saying anything wrong about it.
HCC, yeah, buddy. Yes, absolutely. Dale the First, welcome, my friend. Good to have all of you here. We got something to talk about. We got a couple topics before we get into EGM, but I thought since we're not going to make a video, I know I showed my game yesterday, but we're going to show, Will and I got 2 games, one each, that we can show to you. So let's do that. I showed mine yesterday. I'll go first. You guys have seen this one already, but so we got, I did pick up at this barcade, I picked up Alex Kidd in the Enchanted Castle, which is the one and only Alex Kidd game on the Genesis. And to my knowledge, the very last Alex Kidd game released.
It's in really good shape.
Yeah, this one, we'll open it up. It even has the Sega poster that I've taken out to get framed already. But it has the Sega Genesis Golden Axe poster. Cart's in really nice shape. The book's in amazing shape. And it's amazing that throughout all of our hunts, I have not seen Alex Kidd on Genesis. So I couldn't pass it up, and it was like super, super cheap. So there you go.
Yeah, that was a good find.
Yeah. I'm glad we got that one. Alex. Yeah, thanks, Sonic. And Will, what did you pick up?
So continuing adding to my PlayStation 1 library, I got one of my favorite RPGs playing growing up. It was Wild Arms 2.
Yes.
It's actually in really good shape. The jewel case is a little scuffed, but it has everything with it. You got the manual. The discs are in really good shape as well too. But yeah, no, I freaking loved this game as a kid. It's one series that like dropped off and like just never came back after. I think the PS2 was the last time we saw the Wild Arms franchise.
And I do want to shout out our sponsor, Game Cycle, here on Warncliffe Road in London. That's where Will got that, as we did stop at Game Cycle on the way back into town. So shout out to John and the team at Game Cycle.
Guys, we had an itch that we were just like, okay, we got to find something.
Well, I got Alex Kidd, but I mean, it scratched a little bit. And I know you were like, well, I want something too. So I'm like,
it's only fair.
Let's go to Game Cycle too. Let's go. Let's do it. Okay. Oh yeah. So I'm gonna bring this up, Will. This is a piece of hot gaming news that's been going around. Tell me, have you seen this and what your thoughts are on this?
Oh, this. Yes, I have seen this.
So this is Randy Pitchford, who creates, I think, Borderlands. This is his studio, he's the head of it or whatever.
He's head of Gearbox Studios.
Gearbox, thank you.
I believe. Yeah. He's been around for a long time, Randy Pitchford. Like, he was around, I'm pretty sure, with this, like, the beginning of, like, Borderlands and everything.
So I don't know who the treasured treacher is, but he's basically saying, Randy, what the heck? You're going to charge $80, which is like 100 Canadian, for Borderlands 4. And, yeah, I mean, you can read Randy's response if you like.
A, not my call. B, if you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen. My local game store had Starflight for Sega Genesis for $80 in 1991. when I was just out of high school working minimum wage at an ice cream parlor in Pismo Beach. And I found a way to make it happen.
Okay. So there's a little bit to unpack here. Good morning, Rusty. Good to see you, my friend.
I will say that's like kind of an asshole-ish way of not really like communicating properly what the issue that the general consumer has for it, and like just treating it as like a nonchalant, like do better, work harder kind of thing. I don't know. I don't really like the way he responded.
Yeah. So I just got to say, full transparency, I'm not a fan of Borderlands from the very first game. I get why people like it. It was never my thing. And I know you like Borderlands, so I thought it would be an interesting topic to bring up. So the one thing here is Randy mentions Starflight, which is an old Sega Genesis game. There was $80. And I've talked about this a lot, Will, over the years, how games are fluctuating up and down, and everyone's saying gaming is getting more expensive. You know, I always talk about Phantasy Star 2 being 129 Canadian, Mario 3 being $99. So for like you and me, this isn't really a huge deal. I understand people in the US a little bit because their games are a lot cheaper than ours. First off, what do you think about the $80 price tag on Borderlands 4 US? So again, it's about $100.
I think because you like things you just mentioned, like here in Canada, we've been dealing with like high pricing on gaming already. So for me, like seeing this, I'm like, yeah, that seems like they're, you know, finally raising the price on games, which has been pretty stagnant for quite a long time. And you take into like how much games cost nowadays to create, like billions of dollars for AAA titles. You know, it was something that was probably coming.
$2 billion is the projected cost of Grand Theft Auto 6.
Yeah. So like selling it at like what a regular $69.99 like it used to be, like you still have to sell like an astronomical amount of copies to make back your money.
Right.
I guess the other way you could say it too though is, you know, maybe AAA development is just getting so bloated in development. Do they need to spend $2 billion to make a game?
No. And Mr. Me says, I think 80 is fine. To some extent, yeah, I would agree. I mean, it doesn't bother me. I think for me, when we start to get into the 120, again, Canadian guys, sorry, everyone in the US and everywhere else, but we always refer to Canadian here. So 120, if that becomes the norm, that's going to be an issue. But are we going to stop buying games? Absolutely not. We will not. You know we won't. Nobody
No,
will.
it just means that most likely I'll be buying less games. Or that it has to take a hit into my retro budget. But I don't think I'm not going to sacrifice my retro budget for a lot of newer AAA titles, I don't think.
Let's highlight a couple of comments here. Matt says, something to think about. Back in the day, Phantasy Star 2 and Mario 3 were cartridges. They would be more expensive because they needed more memory to store the complete game. That's not needed anymore. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point. And to piggyback on that, Matt, we talk about digital versus physical. And when you go onto the PlayStation Store, or Xbox, or whatever, these games are never cheaper digital.
Nope. And actually, there was an article I was reading because there's a lot of dislike and upset about Nintendo's direction currently with the Switch 2 stuff. And a lot of their reasoning right now is for the increased pricing and the lack of data on the actual cartridges for physical media is because companies' development teams are upset that the extra cost to have to make those cards and then upgrade them to fit the games is too much.
Our buddy Brian Bottles, who is a streamer on Twitch as well, posted in our Discord about if you at all mod your system and Nintendo somehow finds out, they have some kind of deactivation key so they can kill your hardware.
Yeah, they've been doing that for a while though, but they've just come out on a harder stance and been like, yeah, don't do it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't I've never modded a system I've ever had. Apart from that, we talked about the PlayStation 1 trick where you could trick the lid so you could play like bootleg games.
But that's like that's not modding. That's just tampering with how it works.
Up, buddy? Good to see you. And Bowler's here. Good to see you guys. Welcome on in. Okay, so the $80. Okay, we've addressed that. Now this is not my call. Okay, I could take that either way. This is what I don't like. And again, you got to take a text for how it is. But Randy says, if you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen. I don't like that. I really don't like that statement. That's pretty a full of yourself statement. And again, I have no skin when it comes to Borderlands. I could care less about the game, but I can see how if you're a fan of the series and of Gearbox, that this would rub you the wrong way. What do you think about that statement? If you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen.
It shows a detachment because, like, obviously, Randy and a lot of CEOs of big companies like that live in a realm where wealth is not tremendously an issue. And we know that a lot of us nowadays, it's getting harder and things are getting more expensive and it's getting harder to make ends meet for a lot of people. So for them to come out and say something like this, it really kind of shows that there's a lack of perception of what is going on currently around the world. To me, anyways.
That almost reminds me of a Disney Star Wars kind of thing that you would hear. Like if you're a real fan, you'll go see like the elitism that stands within that community amongst others. But I've dealt with that in the Star Wars world where it's like, if you're a real fan, you'll like this. If you're a real fan, you'll watch this. And, you know, I've had a bunch of people, they keep pushing Andor on me, and I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying I don't want to watch it. But for me, it's just like I'm very cautious now what I consume with Star Wars because I have invested so much time into Star Wars. I feel like I've invested enough. You know, I don't have to watch everything. I don't have to see this. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's silly.
Yeah, Billy, exactly. What is a real fan, right? I mean, that's a term. Like when I was in high school, we'd argue about bands that we liked. You know, but that was high school. Like you're not a real fan because you don't have all the albums. Man, we were kids though. We're talking about adults now, right?
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation trick. Oh, I don't even remember. It was for the original PlayStation, Raj, and you could get bootleg discs, and you could somehow like I don't know, it was like a safety pin or a weight or something on the button that would tell the PlayStation that the tray was shut to boot up. So it would trick the PlayStation into thinking that the boot had happened, something like that. It was a long time ago, man.
Yeah,
long time ago.
I think, and that the other side of the coin, Mr. Me brings up as well too, is that is possible. We're looking into it too much, but that's also kind of what we're here to do, is just to kind of think our thoughts about it, right? But you could be right about that too. Is, you know, they just really want it, then buy it. Like they'll get it.
Well, and you know what? If we flip this over and we talk about a game that I am excited for, along with everyone else on the planet, Grand Theft Auto, I told you guys I would pay $200. I'd pay $500, whatever it's got to be.
I was going to bring that up because I remember that you're like, yeah, I'd pay like $120, and I was like,
100% I will, because but I will say, hang on, Will. I'll just say real quick before everyone freaks out that I know I'm going to get a quality product that's going to last a long time. So it's different for me.
Yeah, for you, yeah. And that's the thing, right? I guess like just like he's saying, like if you're a fan of the series, like if you enjoy Borderlands, this is most likely going to be more Borderlands. So if you like that, I know people who have spent thousands of hours in the Borderlands like universe.
Yeah.
They'll probably get their monies out of it, even at $80, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. And I don't want anybody thinking that we're coming out in this and be like, don't get Borderlands because of the money. No. Like, no. You spend your money as you want. 100%. We will never, ever tell you how to spend your money. As people that collect retro stuff and pay hundreds of dollars for stuff in boxes, I have no footing to tell you how to spend your money or what you feel deemed worthy of its value.
Well, I think we made that pretty clear when we started this, right? It's in Canada, again, we're used to spending 50 up to over $100 for games. So for me, it's not an issue. I don't think $80 is a big ask.
Nope.
If this is your game, I think more it's just like for me, it's the real fan comment. Again, like Mr. Me says, it might be something we're reading into too much. But I just know that this story is kind of taken off this week. So that'd be fun
But
to talk about.
Yeah, the way that you say, like, when you always say a real fan, like, it seems weird to me because, like, are you still a real fan if you wait and buy it on discount because you're trying to budget it out? I would still think so. You're still wanting to buy the product, even if you're not paying full value, right?
Yeah.
So, like, just saying because they're not willing to spend like the $80 monetarily, like at the launch of the title, making them not a real fan seems kind of strange to me. But I get it,
It's just a little weird. Yeah. And but again, I have no skin. I mean, again, if we're talking about Resident Evil or Mario Brothers or something else that I'm into a little bit more, it might be a different story. But I think it's more I don't like gatekeepers. I've never liked gatekeepers. I don't like people who there's a price of entry to be a part of this fandom. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're a real Star Wars fan if you own all the blank. Like, I don't like any of that stuff. I think, when we were kids, maybe that was an argument to have on the playground, but we're all adults now, so it just rubbed me the wrong way. That's all. What's
I agree
up,
with that. Yep.
Good to see you,
Hey,
buddy.
Cutthroat.
The other story too, and I don't have a slide for it, but the Battlefront 2 has seen like an incredible resurgence. And
like the one they brought out again?
Yeah, not the Pandemic Studios one. The Matt, what are they called again? Dice. The one that Dice did. The population of the online has just exploded, and there's a petition now being sent to EA that everyone wants Battlefront 3. So that's interesting.
Yeah, that is odd that we haven't had a Battlefront 3 yet.
Well, I mean, that one, it did well. It's constantly slammed, right? So I want to read this here. Mr. Me says, if you guys were Randy Pitchford or a publisher or owner of a corporation, you would decide to sell your game at $20 less, knowing that even if you sell it for $80, they will buy it. I would have to be in a position to be a millionaire, which I'm not. They say, the richer you are, the greedier you are. And I always say, as someone who's not rich, I just want enough money to survive.
Yep.
Right. So I would have to be in that position to understand the absolute power and quote unquote corruption that would come from being that rich. I don't know.
But from what he's saying too, though, like as a business standpoint, yes, like no business is going to sell an item for a loss, right? And that's like the big thing with like Nintendo is like the Nintendo Switch 2 is super expensive, but that's because like Nintendo doesn't want to sell it for a loss. Like no company wants to lose money on a product, especially now in this market.
I totally get that. I've always said like this idea that corporations can't make money it's ridiculous. And I'm all for making money. That's how the world works. Do you know what I mean? But there's a line between making money and then being greedy for the sake of greed's sake. So
yeah. But I will say, like, I think coming around the whole thing, like the $80 value on games, I'm still kind of okay with it because, like, we have seen over the years, especially going through these magazines, the value of actual, like, video games has not increased a tremendous amount from 20 years ago to now.
And look at, when we looked at Mario Kart, and it was 115 on some sites, Canadian.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you that will be the only Mario Kart for that generation. So is $20 or $30 really that big of a deal? I don't think it is. Again, it's in the eye of the beholder, right? It's like whatever game you feel is worthy.
Yeah.
I mean, we used to pay $20 a month for WoW.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, if like Nintendo's going to be updating it like they've done with Mario Kart 8, like all they do is just keep adding tracks to it over years, I'm cool with that. I will buy DLC to play Mario Kart.
Yeah, exactly. I paid DLC for Mario Kart 8, and I'm not even a huge Mario Kart guy. And I bought the whatever the battle pass it is or whatever it's called, right, to get the extra stuff. Mr. Vlog, you are creating fan fiction for Outbreak because it has good stories. Yeah, it does. A very underrated game. It's not so playable today, unfortunately, but that's one that would be really cool to have a modern remake on for sure.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
I'm surprised none of the packages had that one in it.
Because do you remember that game? It was online, not online only, but to communicate. You had to press on the D-pad, and each direction of the D-pad said very basic, like, I need the key, or open the door, or help.
That's right.
You remember? So I don't think it would be that great now. I just know supply and demand exists, so customers complain but continue to consume. Well, that is true.
That is that. I've said that a few times for sure. Is that a lot of the issues we experience now and people are complaining about is brought on by our own, consuming track record over the years, right? People complain about digital now, but how many people just willingly just bought digital and started less physical media?
Yeah, and I mean, Mr. Me, that's a really good point. I'm also a toy enthusiast as well as Will. Over the last 5 years, I've put my foot down on a lot of these toy companies just for the amount of greed and what they're charging on things. So if you can get to that point in your collecting when you can just say, nope, I'm not going to pay that because I don't think it's worth the value, then you're in a really good spot. But you're correct. Not everyone can do that. I wish we would get more in that headspace collectively. It's very difficult. I'm not saying it's easy to do. It's very hard to say no to that thing you want. But by doing that, you do send companies a message. It's like, wow, that toy's a little bit too much. $50 for one toy is a little much. You know what I mean? Supply and demand is an excuse to gouge people. Impossible Pie, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. It was a very good conversation. Really wanted to open up. And guys, thanks for taking part in that. Please, anything that you see in the magazine that we're going to bring up here, just feel free to holler out. Now we got the chat on the screen.
It's fancy. I was curious because we were talking about Resident Evil there, and I forgot. I was going through my collection, and I forgot I had this was the Resident Evil Origins collection.
Ooh, that is a good one. Yep, that's got 0 and 1.
Yeah, I was like, what is on there again? I don't remember. But 0 is one I've never actually played. And I was like, oh, I forgot I had that.
Yeah, that's where Rebecca takes the spotlight. It's the only Resident Evil out of the main games that doesn't have a chest. So you and Billy, who's your partner, you have to pass items back and forth or leave them behind. So there's that aspect. It's really cool. It's really kind of cool. It's hard, though. Very, very difficult. Master Temple is here. I'll get to a couple more comments, and then we're going to crack open this issue. I can already smell the dust. Jeff, what's up, dude? People don't need games. People don't need a lot of crap out there. It's not a supply and demand issue. It's a luxury item. And $80 for a subpar game and a subpar franchise is outrageous. There you go. There you go. And Neil says, I'm mostly retired from modern figure collecting except Jada, Street Fighter, and Mega Man. Prices keep going up. And to answer real quick here, yes, I collect the Street Fighter figures if I see them, but I will not pay more than the ticket value. Because if you go on Amazon, there's a lot of resellers that have them for $70, $80 when they're really a $20 figure.
I was going to say, we've seen a few of those in store, and they're pretty reasonably priced, Canadian-wise anyways.
Yeah, we saw them at Walmart that one day. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, let's rock and roll. Will, I just want to ask you this before we crack this issue open. I put a poll up earlier with the 4 bosses of Champion Edition.
Mm-hmm.
If you had to pick one, would you pick Balrog, Vega, Sagat, or Bison?
I think Sagat. Sagat's always been the cooler of them all for me.
He's always the more powerful one, for sure. I would say. I know Bison's the boss, but I always thought Sagat was the best. I guess he's the boss of the first one, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go.
Sagat's like Bison's like right-hand man, though, right?
Yeah. Exactly. We are on issue 46, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take you back to May of 1993. Thank you to the greatest magazine of all time, Electronic Gaming Monthly, and shout out to Retro Mags who has archived all this history. Retromags.com. The link is in the description of this live stream. If you want to follow along, just click that link and you'll have to just search out this particular issue. You can follow right along. All right, Willie, are we ready?
I think so.
Let's do it.
Da-da-da.
I can smell the 93. Didn't 93 smell great? Sure.
Smells like good memories.
Smells
good times. Happy family togetherness.
Color Me Bad and Snow and Red Hot Chili Peppers and whoever else was big at that time.
And video games.
And video games. All right, Mr. Ed. You want to start us off?
We're sorry for being honest. Last week I got to experience my first experience at being on the road. I flew out to the Sega Capcom press conference that unveiled the unsecret Street Fighter II CE. After the conference, I called up some of the companies in the San Francisco area to stop by for a visit. After the normal social greetings, the subject always got around to one common subject: game reviews. Why did our game only get a 4? Was the standard question. Unfortunately, the answer was the same. The game only deserved a 4. You know what? That's pretty truthful. I like that. Just bluntly tell them, like, hey, I didn't think it was that great.
And they have known, I mean, EGM is known for telling their honest opinions, and they've heard a lot of publishers, and a lot of publishers were not giving them advertising dollars at the time, but they didn't care because they stayed true to exactly how they felt.
Yeah, you don't want to, yeah. Why would you want a publication to lie for a title and then sell it and then not have that, like, you know, their fan base trust them anymore?
That's why, and listen, before the chat kills me, I'm not slamming Nintendo Power, but I will say one reason that was not my favorite was because it was under the Nintendo brand. So I always felt like there was some bias there. It's why I never remember the official PlayStation magazine, Xbox magazine. Like, I mean, we read those at work and stuff like that, but I was never a fan of getting those because of the bias.
Yeah, like you'd go to those magazines to get like the latest news pertaining to that console, but you wouldn't take their reviews, you know, seriously.
Right.
Let's see. Well, not the first time I had to answer for a low review, as phone calls come in every week about items published in our magazines, but telling it to people face to face is something different. It's not an easy thing to say to a product manager sitting across the table who was probably hundreds, if not thousands of hours and an equal amount of money invested in making a game. It is doubly tough. Wait. I scrolled down and lost it. There we go. Doubly tough because companies know that a low number review will mean smaller sales in the stores. Not only for the fewer players buying the games, but also from smaller initial purchases from the larger retail chains. We happen to be the major source of information for many of the video game buyers. They take our reviews into consideration when they make their nationwide purchases. It's quite the responsibility, but in the goals that Steve set years ago, our reviews will always represent our honest, unbiased opinions of the games.
Yes, I love it.
This attitude also carries through all the sections in the magazine. While other magazines may have a more upbeat attitude and every game gets smiling faces, that type of facade is easy to see through, and players start to ignore the ratings and quickly lose faith in the integrity of the magazine. That's exactly what we were talking about. There you go, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to be a critic sometimes because, again, you're shutting down potential revenue, but what's more important, Will, the integrity of your word or dollars? I guess that's the age-old question, right? With all this stuff. The same attitude goes towards the editorial. I could play it safe and just tell you what's in the issue, but that just repeats the table of contents. Rather, you will see opinions about the industry here. Sure, I get a lot of angry calls and letters from the companies and readers about anything negative that I wrote regarding a particular system or game, But these editorials aren't just random thoughts from someone new to the industry. I'm one of the old timers, having been to over 25 consumer electronics show, a dozen of Japanese and European trade shows. After a while, it's too hard to be able to read between the lines and see what a company is really saying or doing. Most importantly, many of the editorials represent what our readers are saying. I read each and every letter that you send in, and you, the readers, do have a voice in the industry. Wow, this is really echoing what we're talking about today. That's crazy too.
Like, did you cheat and read ahead?
No. Like with the Star Wars Battlefront, and people are sending a petition to get Battlefront 3 made and stuff like that. That's crazy that in 1993 this was wrote by Ed, and in 2025 we're facing this. It's crazy because Battlefront 3 will get made. You know it will. I lost my spot. If we get 1,000 letters from Super NES players who are worried that the mighty Nintendo will take out the blood and fatalities in Mortal Kombat, as we have, the message will be passed on to the powers that be at Nintendo. It may not make a big difference, to the big N, but we're here to get the message to them. So keep your letters coming in. It does make a difference. Don't just stop there, though. We're starting to offer more controversial subjects in the letters column. Let us know your opinion. And finally, take a moment to let us know what you think of the magazine. We are constantly evolving, and with your input, the biggest and best will stay on the top. Cheers.
Boom. Mic drop.
Good job, Ed. Ed's awesome, man. He is awesome. Moving on. I think our buddy JP just streamed this not too long ago. Oh, maybe it wasn't this one.
This is the Genesis one, wasn't it?
Yeah, this is the one Sega made, which is great, by the way. I don't know if it was that one. It's a great game. Look at the art's a little wild.
That background art is wicked.
Yeah.
I actually like that. Though, look at Cyclops' eye.
Look at Wolverine's face.
Like he has two eyes, like he's shooting out of his forehead. All right, take it back. This is not cool. Take it back.
It's bad. Okay, let's get in here. There's that Time Gal game on page 11. That
yeah, they were talking. There was a letter from it last time, right? They were asking the petition getting it made. Look, hey, there you go.
There you go.
You're talking about it. People asking to petition to have people made, bringing it over to the U.S., right?
Yep, that's right.
So same thing. They're like, call the developer, and they did it. We got Time Gal.
Putting it on the list. Well, here we go. It wouldn't be the 90s, the early 90s, without floods of Street Fighter 2 news. And I can't tell you guys, again, for those of you who don't know, just how big that this game was. Mortal Kombat was big, but it wasn't like Street Fighter. Street Fighter was just, it took over. And so real quickly, the cover story is Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition on the Genesis. So it's kind of Nintendo against themselves here because they had their strict rules. If a game was on a Nintendo console, it could not appear on anything else for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
So Capcom's like, well, then I guess we're going to bring Champion Edition to Genesis because technically it's a different game. So pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. Okay, let's get into this. This is all about the Champion Edition, which adds the 4 boss characters to the World Warrior and new colors for characters. Plus, you could play Guile versus Guile, Ryu versus Ryu for the first time. Mirror matches. Street Fighter 2 for the Genesis lives. This is from Mark Kurt from Louisville, Kentucky. I have access to... Whoa! I have access to a computer bulletin board system. And as the information from the States, Capcom will be bringing Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition to the Sega Genesis. I own a Super NES, and I feel that Capcom is abandoning me and all those who bought a copy of Street Fighter II: The World Warrior for the Super Nintendo. BBS HGC, you know what's going on.
Man, that brings me back. I forgot about that.
Dude, me too. The dude I always talk about, my neighbor who made the Doom 2 boot disc for me, so I haven't had enough RAM to play Doom 2, was also the guy who he had a, what is it? I better be careful how I say this. A BBS. So he had a BBS, and I don't know what he ran. It was some kind of game thing or maybe a Star Wars thing. But did you ever take part in that? I know you're a little younger than me. Did you ever do any of that?
Yeah, I didn't do it personally, but like a lot of the stuff my dad would do, and I'm fairly certain he had a lot of that type of things for some of the stuff we played on our computers.
I'll read these, and then you can read Ed's response. Okay. So that was from Mark Kurt. The next one is from Danielle Dresser from Vacaville, California. I was wondering if Street Fighter II was coming out on the Genesis. I just love the game. My parents won't let me have two 16-bit systems. Hey, most didn't. So I was wondering if I will be available anytime soon. Also, what will the megs on the cart be, and what kind of 6-button controller will come out for it?
Yeah, that's a big thing. I don't think people realize that. Like today, we have a lot of people that are multi-console gamers, right, or platforms. But like for me, like we've talked about all the time, like I had a Super Nintendo. I never had a Genesis. Right? And like getting into it now, like I've missed out on so much, but that's all we could afford back then, man.
But even because you are 5 or 6 years younger or whatever it is from me, maybe 10, whatever it is, it's like you grew up more with PlayStation and 64, but you also had to choose.
Yep.
Right? And you made your choice. I mean, you chose wrong, but I mean, you had to choose. That's fine.
I did not. I will firmly, listen, I love my 64 and I played what I got on it. But moving on to the PlayStation 1, I will always say I never regretted that. That PlayStation 1 library is fantastic.
All right, well, let's let the chat decide.
Yeah, there we go. There's a poll.
Let's let the chat decide.
The ultimate poll, PS1 versus N64, the ultimate showdown. Disc versus cartridge, Nintendo versus Sony, rivals around the world. Put your votes in, friends.
Choose
PlayStation.
Your destiny. Okay, and the last letter comes from Mike Marino from Ventura, California, Cutthroat. If Street Fighter is supposedly coming out on the Genesis, I have a few burning questions for you. Number 1, could it ever be better than the current Street Fighter 2 on the Super Nintendo? 2, will it have the same awesome music as the Super Nintendo? 3, this is more than a couple questions, by the way, but 3, and even the most important question of all, will it be Championship Edition? 4, will the Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition Turbo version then come out for the Super Nintendo? Thanks, guys. I know you have.
Jeepers.
It's a lot of questions.
Mike is invested.
A lot of questions. Okay, it finally happened. Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition is coming to the Sega Genesis in June. Will?
We made it. We made it. We're here. Who would have thought this would have happened? Who would have known?
You're up, Ed.
I was getting there.
You're up, Ed.
As you can see by the cover of our this issue, Street Fighter 2 CE is indeed coming to the Genesis this June. Capcom officially announced the game on March 10th, 1992, and at this time, they also stated that a new Genesis version of their 6-button Street Fighter 2 stick would be coming out later this summer. Sega also plans to have their 6-button controller out this summer. That's later this summer, out this summer. Okay, yeah, that's...
You're good, you're good. Hold the line. Hold the line.
I was just double checking. I was like, I feel like I just said that. The Genesis Street Fighter 2 CE will be a 16 meg, and Capcom states it would cost the same as the Super NES version. From what we saw of the game, the sounds and music are excellent. The control is good, and the characters move very fast on the screen. The reduced color palette is noticeable, but not objectionable. There will be improvements over the Super NES version. Do a perfect round, and the game says perfect. And it appears to be an awesome cart. As to a Super NES version, Capcom US won't say, but sources in Japan are already talking about a new Famicom Street Fighter 2 cart. Whether it'll be Turbo CE or just CE has not been confirmed yet.
Excellent. Curb Stomp, welcome, our newest member of our Discord. Guys, if you're not a channel member yet, please consider becoming one. You do get access to our ultra cool private Discord. You'll never know what happens until you become a member. And you get to game with us on our community days. Low as 99 cents, goes all the way up to $5. You guys can choose how much you want to support the creator, which is me. So please consider becoming a channel member.
And don't forget to hit that like button on the stream right now, friends. That helps get it up there for YouTube's and Jay's channel. So get those likes in.
Star Fox 2 is on its way. Huh. Well, we know, Will, that Star Fox 2 never came out.
I was going to say, is it? Is it?
I bought the Japanese version of Star Fox, and I think it's the most incredible game I've ever seen. Its action is mind-boggling, and the sound effects are some of the best ever. I would love to personally congratulate Nintendo on their excellent work in designing the Super FX chip for the best game on the market. Any word on a sequel? Says Raymond Jones from Beaver, Ohio. Shout out to Beaver, Ohio.
Sheesh.
Eric Swanson.
Oh, you got that one? Okay.
Yeah.
No, I was curious if you wanted me to read it, or are you going to read that one and I'll do the reply again?
Okay, I'll read Eric's from Minneapolis, Minnesota. As soon as I saw your preview pictures on Star Fox in the February issue, I just knew I had to run out to the store and purchase it as soon as it came out. Well, I did, and I love it. The missions are all long and challenging. I'm so mature. And the music is way above average. My question to you is, how long has Nintendo been working on the elusive Super FX chip? It seems that Star Fox has just grazed the surface of what this chip can do. Will there be a sequel or any other games like this in the future, says Eric.
Well, Eric and Raymond, surprise! Nintendo didn't design the Super FX chip, nor can they claim complete credit for Star Fox. Both of these projects come from Argonaut Software in England. Check out our exclusive revealing behind the scenes at Argonaut Studios on page 110 for the real story that Nintendo will not talk about regarding the chip and the game. Dun dun dun! Yeah, stateside it was never released until it came out on the Super Nintendo Mini. If you guys remember that was one of the coolest selling points. It's bad. Oh my god, look. Oh my god. I'm trying to wipe this from my memory. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you right now, chat, I would kill for this poster. For a theatrical poster of this image right here, I'd simply kill for it, so to speak. What's up, guys? You can't get that on eBay? Yeah, you can. So why would you kill for it when you just gotta buy it? I'm trying to make it exciting. Oh, okay. Can't you just go on eBay? Good. Trust the fungus. Ugh. Will and I watched this, and we did a little discussion that you guys can check out at the bottom of my page here under video game movies. Check it out if you want to see a fun discussion we had on the Mario Brothers movie. Okay. You're up, buddy. I don't. What is that? Fold again? What? How is there so many letters about this thing? What is it? These are towards it. Oh, no, okay. Fooled again. I got it now. There we go. Oh, Canada. I read it. I thought it was I don't know. I thought it was like a Monster Hunter monster, you know? We're hunting the fold again. I don't know. I have just received your April issue, and the first thing I did was look for your April Fool's joke. After finding the phony listing of the Jaguar games in the software calendar, I had to immediately rush this letter to you in hopes that I might win some kind of prize for being the first to respond. Probably not.
I was gonna say we never did figure out what it was last.
Yeah, we're gonna find out. Apparently, there was something. I don't think we noticed anything.
We didn't find it.
While I was reading my newly arrived April issue of EGM, I found your annual April Fool joke. In your software calendar, a new section listing Jaguar games caught my eye, especially since I know the system hasn't been released yet. Sure enough, the games were Virtual Pong 64, Adventure 199X, and Yar's Revenge 2. I find this an excellent attack on Atari's vaporware promises about their system. Whoa. Woo.
Golly.
While this prank is unlikely to cause international mania that your infamous Sheng Long trick resulted in last year, I suppose it is possible that I will soon see a bunch of clueless gamers lining up at Electronics Boutique to buy Virtual Pong 64. Keep up the good work. Virtual Pong 64. Nobody's just going out to buy Pong. Let alone lining up for it.
Come on now. Maybe.
In droves enough to line up for Pong?
That was from Teddy Shaw from San Francisco, California. Mighty Mutron is here. What's up, dude?
I'm Mutron.
This is from James Moore. I am pleased to say that I found the April Fool's trick on page 37 in the April issue of your awesome mag. Virtual Pong 64, Adventure 1990X, and Yar's Revenge 2 definitely sound like Jaguar games. I'm sure you'll probably get letters from people that believed it. Do I get a game?
Do you?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
There's one more.
Yeah, I did too.
You did too. So Tony Reno from Vegas over here, he says, I must admit that you guys had me fooled. I never would have thought about looking in the software calendar for an April Fool's trick. I thought for sure it would be the psycho letter, or even, I feel bad that we didn't read that letter, by the way, but it was friggin', remember the font was so small?
Oh, no, I don't feel bad about that. They should have done a better job to make that more legible. It was
there's no way.
Stupid.
We couldn't have read that, dude. It was like, I couldn't even see it on my monitors right here.
Oh, sorry, Adrian. Sorry. I'm sorry about bashing Pong.
Adrian, what's going on? Pong for life. I got my 2 right there. My 3, I have my Nintendo one as well. Pong.
Yeah, the Nintendo one you bought with me when we
was at Toy Rat in 2012. Yes, sir. And dude, when we got that, remember I got it because neither one of us knew what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Never seen it again. I didn't realize how rare that thing was. But it's still right there. You can see it, the orange guy right there.
Yeah, it's a cool looking system.
Keep it up, the awesome news for the best magazine around. Okay. And then one more from Casey Watson.
Jesus, yeah, there's so many of these. Oh my God.
Yeah, April Fools.
You people are very cruel when it comes to April Fool's jokes. Last year, the Vapor Hero legend Sheng Long, now a Vapor System and Games, when I saw that you added a new spot for the anticipated Jaguar game Pong 64. No, it didn't say that. I almost cried. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yep. Why?
But the funny thing is the Jaguar does come out later this year.
Yeah.
So
I to be this upset about it, I don't know.
Though those games are, I think all of those are wrong. Yeah. We got a futuristic Pong release on the PS1, but not on Jaguar, which seems like they missed the mark given that they're Atari. Anyway.
Hey, Krush. I was ready to blow another paycheck on this Hawt game system to add to my collection. However, my jaw dropped to the ground when I saw those heartbreaking phony third-party software titles. I know. I should have been prepared. Hopefully someday soon, the Atari 64-bit Jaguar will claw its way to reality and take the world by surprise. It's the stuff dreams are made of. Maybe more like nightmares, Casey, sorry.
Hey, come on, man.
Not wrong.
Looking at the postmark date on your envelope, James, Roger's entry beat yours by a week. And Roger, just how did you receive your issue so quickly? Are you one of the readers who bought the exclusive $500 Gold Seal subscription program where the mag is sent out FedEx from the printer? Anyway, Roger, since you were the first to get your letter about your your letter was our first letter that we got. We will be sending you an entire set of extremely rare golden Street Fighter 2 coins, a copy of the Genesis version of Champion Edition, and a funky cool in-your-face t-shirt to proudly display to all of your jealous friends. Wow. What else would you expect from the biggest and best video game magazine? Enjoy your prizes and stay tuned for next year's surprise.
He actually got stuff. Do you think he actually got it? Or is that just like another joke where they just like, yeah, it's coming?
No, they did. They did for sure. You know what's crazy is that we didn't even get that. I think we kind of skipped because I didn't think that the April Fools would be featured in that section. Mm-hmm. So I remember just kind of skipping the calendar, but there you go. I don't know. It doesn't seem as great as the Shenlong one, but there you go.
Well, it went right over our heads. We didn't even notice it.
Yeah. Dale says I could mention that April Fools, where they showed a PlayStation with Akuma as being part of Resident Evil 2. That's news to me. I don't remember that one. Do we want to read the Psycho letter?
Yeah, might as well. We missed the last one.
Okay. Yeah, Cut wants us to do it. You can read it or you can read the response. Whatever you choose, my friend.
You want me to read it? You can do the response.
Sure.
I'll do my crazy voice.
Oh, I love it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the Twitch partner, WillyLo.
This is for Cutthroat. I know Cutthroat likes this. Dear EGM, subliminal advertising focuses towards our subconscious minds. I'm doing a research paper on how companies use this form of advertising to exploit the general public. I believe that Renovation uses it. It's the ad for Road Avengers. If you look at them open mouth, you'll see that the aligned with the mouth are cracks in the windshield that form the letters S-E-X.
What's that spell?
Companies make a lot of money doing this. Show this to everyone in the office and see what they think of this. If you decide to publish this letter, please don't publish it in the Psycho letter because I'm dead serious about it. John P. Horsham.
Horsham? John Horsham. John, you got to realize, my friend, as soon as you tell Ed not to do something, he's going to do it. Dude, that was great. Great voice. Classic WillyLo, ladies and gentlemen. The classic nerd voice. And there was so much spit there. I feel sorry for your microphone.
It's a little wet.
John P. Horseman. PA almost had us fooled into believing the research paper story until Scanman, our resident loony, spent 2 weeks with the ad and found something that looked like the letters. Are we close, John? No one else saw it. Anyway, anybody who spends hours looking at ads for secret messages is as crazy as they come.
Love it.
Try getting a life, John. There is a real world out there. You might try playing video games too, but don't look at every screen for messages, though. Oh my God, savage Ed!
I like it. That's how you gotta treat some of these people sometimes, you know,
dude. Matt with the zinger. I won't repeat that, but you guys can. Cue Michael Scott. That was hilarious. Wow. Raj, what are you saying, buddy? Street Fighter 3 is the best fighting game of all time. Please comment. Okay.
Street Fighter 3 is really good. I don't know. Oh, well, wow. Okay, Jay's just going for the throat. Okay.
Incorrect. Okay, so we got violence in sports games. Oh my God, look at all the letters here. Well, I feel like we got to address this. All right.
Holy hell.
Travis Ransom from Evanston, Illinois. I'm writing in response to the article printed in the April issue of EGM written by Phil Mushnick from New York, of the New York Post, excuse me. I believe it is sick that someone would go so far as to proving his point. He couldn't possibly believe that Madden and the National Hockey League Players Association condone violence. It's a video game, for goodness sake. Any kid, however, who cannot depict the difference between an injured player and the same in a video game, what should have his parents checked out, not the kid. Comparing a video game to real life is exceptionally sick on Mr. Mushnick's part. All the letter does is prove his ignorance in writing it. I apologize, I butchered that.
Huh.
Says Travis Ransom. We obviously skipped this from last issue. Interesting.
Do we want to read all of them?
No, just you read one and they're showing the Madden screen there where someone gets hurt. I mean, is hockey not violent? Is football not violent? Like, what am I missing here?
Don't people get hurt in sports all the time?
It's grown adults slamming into each other. Is that not what the very sport of football? That's what it is, right?
Yeah.
What am I missing?
Weird. Here? Let's go way over to the right from Mike Prize? Like Prize? Like fries with a P? Prize? Yeah, okay. I just received your April issue in the mail and I couldn't believe what I was reading when I turned to the psycho letter of the month. Well, Mr. Mushnick, you say that the people at Nintendo and Sega, as well as the entire NHLPA, can go straight to heck? If that's the case, I feel you can go right along with them. Oh, wow. To even suggest that sports video games are promoting violence in everyday life is the biggest load of BS I have heard in years. Let's start off with what you said about Toys R Us. Since when are they a headquarters for kids looking to get a leg up on the brutal world that awaits them? Maybe we should have read this letter. Somebody went off the rails last magazine, and we missed it.
Yeah, we did miss this.
You make a toy store look like a war command post. What? If you really want to see violence in a game, why don't you go down to the local arcade and play a game of Mortal Kombat with all the gore switches turned on? Fair. Judging from your article, this game might send you crying home to mommy. Get him, Mike. Get him.
So again, it's socially acceptable for what eight men on 8 men or whatever football is, 16 or whatever it is, to ram into each other and to take each other down. But Mortal Kombat gets a Senate hearing from Lieberman. Night Trap gets a Senate hearing also from Lieberman because his version of what he thinks the game is wrong. But hockey and football can show this all the time, and it doesn't get the same kind of treatment. I think that's what we're getting at here.
Yeah. Though I think like 16 men ramming into each other is a different sport, but I don't know.
How okay, chat, since Will is a dum-dum, how many people are on the football field? 16 on a team? 15? 14?
I don't know. I was just making a joke.
Whatever.
Do I look like a sports baller?
Ed says this is the first round of letters from players about Mr. Mushnick's column on violence in video games. Seal. Oh, that's the April Fool's or the April Psycho letter we didn't read. That's where that came from. We should have read that, man. It was so small though.
It was hurting my eyes. That's true.
The attitudes of the game players range from total disbelief to anger, which we have never heard before. Believe me, I searched high and low, and all of the letters we received, nobody took his side of the story. Keep the letters coming in. It would also be good to hear from parents as to whether you see your children developing violent attitudes because they play video games.
I'd be concerned if somebody took his side.
So it's like, I don't know. I feel like we only have half the story because we didn't read it, but
it sounds like he was upset about sports violence being depicted. And that was, you know what, to be fair, I do remember back in the day, there was a huge thing, especially in football, where the NFL really put a stance down on anybody outside in like media and stuff, mentioning about concussions and stuff.
Right.
Like that was a huge thing back in the day. So maybe that's like some of this where like just like some hardcore like sports guy was just like, yeah, sports aren't violence. It's just the media portraying it wrong.
Wake up. How hard is it to teach your kids that video games, TV shows, movies, books, etc. are make-believe fantasy? Yeah. And this is also something we've talked about a lot on my channel here where, you know, you go back to the 60s, blame Ozzy, heavy metal is bad for you. The 90s, blame Marilyn Manson, you know, blame whoever for whatever. I truly believe it does come from parenting. And I have no kids. Will has no kids, but do you know what I mean? I think it's what you teach your kids. You have to teach them, like Wake Up just said there, it's fake. Star Wars is not real. You know, He-Man is make-believe. Even football is real, but they're trained professionals doing this to each other, right? It all starts with the parenting. So,
100%.
Moving on.
Oh, my back.
Murder Cleese, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it.
We're getting there, boys and girls. 99,800 some odd followers. Almost at 100,000.
My stress, buddy. My stress. It's in my vocal cords. Okay. The debate continues. I think you're up. What is this debate about? Well, we'll figure it out.
Why is it that every game that comes to the US radically changes from the Japanese counterpart? For instance, take the awesome game called Ranma 1/2. I have both Super Famicom versions, and they're incredible. But I ask you, why did IREM have to change the characters when they released Street Combat on the Super NES? Did they feel that Americans wouldn't like the present characters or understand the intricate story that surrounds the animation series that is this game? I really wish some companies would leave the games the way they are. And that was a big thing back in the day. The Japanese versions would be altered for an American audience.
Yeah. We see that a lot in we were doing a list like a few months ago, and Strider came up for Genesis and how the North American box art, it looks like Jeff Daniels. You know, it looks nothing like the anime inspired Strider Hyrule that we see. I think because Western developers, especially, you know, guys like Tom Kalinske from Sega, like he wanted Sonic to look more like Mickey Mouse. So the original design of Sonic was changed and he looked a lot more like Mickey Mouse because they just thought Western audiences wouldn't like that. Boy, were they wrong.
And like, an example of it working sometimes is Blaster Master. They changed the whole story on that originally because the whole storyline was originally an alien race invading the world and taking over, and it didn't do well in Japan, so they changed it because over here, mutants and like stuff like that, like Ninja Turtles and Toxic Avenger was the other one and stuff like that. Those are like big over here, and they decided to make it about like a mutant frog going in and like chemicals, like toxics, like, you know, mutating creatures in the world. And Yeah, I was like, oh, that's a big twist. And then it did gangbusters over here. So sometimes it works.
Samuel Brewer, Springfield, Illinois, says these ridiculous changes have got to stop. What I'm talking about is the video game characters that come from Japan and end up getting butchered by the American companies to suit our needs, quote. Changes like converting the ultra cool Rama half or 0.5 or whatever, however you say that, characters into the new people in Irene's Street Combat and completely taking out Bonk's strange transformation in the Japanese version only hurts the game's quality. Well, it was part of the Eastern culture coming to the West, right? I'm so glad it is where we are now. Anime is huge. Japanese inspired artwork obviously is huge. To say it's huge in the Western world is a complete understatement. But it's like anything that comes here new, everyone has their backup at first, right?
Yep.
So
let's see. Ed's response: while games go through many changes before they reach the market, many of the companies make special changes based upon the familiarity of the game characters. Since Ranma 1 and 1.5 cartoon never aired on a TV in America and can only be seen by watching translated tapes, the popularity of the characters seems weak, and the changes were probably made based on that assumption. Besides, if you never bought the Japanese versions of these games, the changes would be unnoticeable anyway.
There you go. Matt says there are a great many times they changed the game to westernize them. Persona 1 comes to mind. They changed some of the story and race swapped one of the characters, which changed the game completely.
Huh.
I didn't know that. Interesting.
Look at these envelope arts.
So good, right? Like the first poll that we had, I would have chosen Vega as mine, but look at that Vega envelope. Man, so good. We got some Mortal Kombat. Oh, what's this one on the second from the top on the right?
Oh, remember that? What the hell is that game called? Chakram?
Chalkin' the Forever Man.
Chalkin', that's it. We were talking about this. We were like, oh, we should find that when we were at Game Cycle.
Yeah, we tried. Look at this legend. Good morning, Bardo. Love you. Willie, huge congrats on the Twitch partnership.
Thanks, Chad.
Good to have you here, brother. Don't forget, you got to join us tomorrow for some Fortnite, buddy, if you're not busy. But congrats on the return to YouTube as well. I know you've had a busy couple months. Cabinets look great, buddy. They look great.
Speaking of polls, we still have that poll going.
No, we don't. No, it's don't look over there. Oh, 81%.
I told you.
Are you kidding me?
Rose tinted glasses on that one. N64 is a great system, but it does not compare to the PS1.
Wrong. Incorrect. 81%. CES, where we're cost. The
JP.
Consumer Electronics Show now open to the public. What's up, Josh? Okay, I'm going to go to the rated R. Let's see what rated R is. This is from Doug Mason from Columbus, Ohio. Shout out to Columbus. Today, video games are much more advanced than before. The end. Thank you very much. All right, good stuff, Doug. They seem to cater more to an older audience, too. As many American gamers know, Japanese games have more blood and violence. Not true. And also show a lot more skin than U.S. titles. Can we expect to see these types of games coming to the U.S. in the future? Future boy! Mo is here. I think I missed you, buddy. Welcome. Happy Friday.
Yeah, the chat's never wrong.
If anybody in the chat has a poll idea, let me know. We can throw another one up there. Congrats to the PlayStation 1, blah, blah, blah. All right, you want to read Ed's?
For the CES one, right? Yeah, there it is. I have this zoomed in so I can actually see it with my old man eyes. Start packing your bags, Chris, once again. No, is it the right one? Yeah.
Don't expect to see anything very risky on the game.
Oh, where the hell did I go?
It's right below the picture of the Viking and the woman.
Yeah, okay. Oh, wait. I went a little bit too far. There we go. Got it. Don't expect anything very risque on the game systems in the near future. Remember that the Japanese attitude towards nudity and violence is entirely different than that of ours. To them, it is not a big deal, while here the companies have to be concerned about parents. Those frickin' jerks. Looking at our game companies, there is Nintendo, where seeing blood in a game is unheard of. Hold up. Nintendo's still a Japanese company, though. I'm just saying. I guess it's still marketed towards there, but I'm just saying it's a weird thing where it's just like Nintendo is a Japanese company. That
Well, I don't think they're correct here. Mortal Kombat is 100% US. So is Digital Pictures with Night Trap. That's a risque game. So I don't think what this guy is saying is Doug Mason. Sorry, buddy, but you're incorrect.
Yeah.
Like I do believe that, just to continue with that, I do believe that the views on nudity are different than they are in the Western world, for sure. Of course they are. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah. No, just weird. Blood in a game is unheard of. Sega, where blood is okay, but nudity is a no-no. Remember Stormlord. And TTI, where the conservative approach is the subject, seems to be the way they're going to go. Mortal Kombat will probably be the landmark game, which will be at least loosen up the violence standards. Will at least loosen up the violence standards. Okay, there we go. Yep.
Yeah, we can look forward to Mortal Monday coming this year in '93, which is September 13th, which was a big, big day. A lot of controversy. That's what started, like I said, Lieberman and that whole thing with the ESRB being created. Okay, I think we're good. Here. Oh, wait, actually, hang on. Madden Champion Edition could find its way to retail soon. Oh, I do want to read this one.
Yeah, it's
because John Madden Champion Edition was a rental only at Blockbuster, so I think it's really interesting. Where are we flipping through? Let me just.
That's it, right? Oh no, is it the one above it? No, where is it?
At my local store, the top. At my local store, they have a game called John Madden Champion Edition for the Genesis that is only available for rental. Since it's always checked out, I've never been able to see what the game is all about. Although I was discouraged, I went to every toy and electronics store in the area, and they said that they never heard of this game. Was it simply a mix-up at the video store? Yeah, this is great. This is from John Ships from Baltimore.
Easy Ships.
Skip down to last but not least, John Madden Champion Edition was developed by Electronic Arts strictly for rental purposes. Super Bowl teams are the only real addition, but the game has become quite a hot commodity. Electronic Arts has given some serious thought to the phenomenal demand for this game and may even start selling it through the country sometime soon, which, by the way, they never did. And John Madden Champion Edition was the first Blockbuster-only rental, which I think is amazing. Anyone who has a copy of this game today, hold on to it. It was worth a fortune, and it still is. A few video stores, it wasn't Blockbuster exclusive. It was just a rental. Sorry. A few stores are even reporting that the customers are keeping the game and paying the $150 penalty fee. For more information on Madden Champion Edition, check out the sports insert polybagged with this issue. Woo.
That's pretty cool.
There you go. Raj, you got a poll? Please put a poll up. Is Street Fighter 3 Third Strike the best? Well, no, it's not. I'm not going to put that poll up, buddy. Come on, we can do a better one than that.
What's wrong with Third Strike? I like Third Strike. I'm not going to say it's the best, but I like Third Strike.
Matt, can you take care of that? Thanks. Just delete it, that's all. Yeah, so Madden Champion Edition, have you ever seen it or heard of it, Will? It's for Genesis.
No.
Yeah, I've only seen it one time in my life, and that was at Playmania in London, the same place where I got my it was Genesis 3. I acquired my Genesis 3. Yeah, but it's pretty rare. We should put that on the list, man. That would be a fun find. Although I'm not too sure what it costs. Not too sure what it costs.
Probably a lot. Look at this monstrosity afterwards. Oh my god.
What, RBI?
No. Keep going.
See, take on the pros, RBI. Then I see reviews.
Oh, did I go too far? Oh, it's the next one after the reviews page. I rolled too far. Look at that.
We'll get to it. Raj, do me a favor. We will put Street Fighter 3 on the poll. Give me 3 others, though. So let's do 4 fighting games and put them up, okay? Okay. Review crew. I read Steve, and Will always reads Ed. We could see, I think this is the game of the month, or at least got Editor's Choice Gold, which is Flashback. But before we get to that, we will see what our crew has been up to. So Steve, this month, the big boss man got stuck in the New York blizzard and was forced to play Game Boy Tetris for 4 days. His current favorite games are Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition, Star Fox, and Cool Spot.
Huh. Do we just like think Cool Spot sucked because it's just like one of those like, I don't know, licensed weird games, branded stuff? I don't know.
It's food mascot, so I myself would have just dismissed it, which according to everyone else, we probably shouldn't have done that, or I shouldn't have done that, but I never thought of trying Cool Spot because I was just like, why do I want to play as the 7-Up spot? Like, that thing's dumb. I mean, and Yonoid, even though it was Capcom, right? Like a Domino's pizza game, like,
yeah, I out of sight, out of mind. I was like, I don't want to play that.
Chad the hipster. Star Wars Masters of Terrakasai. That was on my list for the last Monday Hell Ride. Okay. Before you
have a copy of that? They had some at Game Cycle.
I have a loose disc.
Oh, they had the whole complete one. I think it was like $30.
But
not
I
very
don't
expensive.
Have it. Yeah. Okay, well, if you want to do me a favor and go to the chat and give me 4 fighting games, one being Street Fighter 3, give me 3 others. You can just pick out of what everyone said.
Okay, well, I had Soul Calibur, Killer Instinct.
Caliber is Calibur.
Yep.
Correct? Okay, yep.
And we might as well throw Mortal Kombat in there. I feel like that's a solid 4 to choose from.
Mortal Kombat 1, and what was the first one? I mean, and what was the other one? I got Soul Calibur, Street Fighter 3, and Mortal Kombat. What was the last one?
I said Killer Instinct. I feel like Killer Instinct would get in there. But there's a few good...
We're
doing Street Fighter 3. I didn't want to put another Street Fighter in there.
There you go, guys. Good pull. Okay, so what's Ed been up to this month?
Ed's been on the road so much, he's become elusive as sushi. He's seen a lot of good games. Current favorite games: Rebel Assault, Empire Strikes Back, RDL. Is that like Super Empire? I gotta copy that.
Yep. Here comes the marketplace cheater liar, folks.
Do you want to show them all?
Here comes the cheater liar. Yeah. Here, let's.
Because I couldn't turn down the price. I know. JT called me out on it too. He was like, just before a hunt. And you know what? There was nothing at the store really, so it paid off. I actually got all of these on Facebook Marketplace. Praise be to Facebook Marketplace, friends. We know how we all love it here. So we got Complete in Box Super Star Wars.
Let's go.
We got a Complete in Box Empire Strikes Back.
Let's go.
And the trifecta. Woo! Return of the Jedi. All 3. Do you know what, Josh? I got them for all 3 of them for $200. That was actually pretty good.
That is a good deal.
That's why I couldn't turn it down. I was like, how can I say no to that?
Monica, what's going on? Willie's always showing off his toys.
That's right. That's what we got to do around here, Monica.
Let me say that you got to get one more, Will. You got to get one more for me. Do you know which one you got to get?
No, which one?
You have to get Indiana Jones' Greatest Adventures. Dude,
Why?
Why you barf? It's the same game.
Indiana Jones. Who likes Indiana Jones? That old Dusty.
I do. Especially the dial of the destiny. Not that bad. The dial of
Isn't that one a little bit rarer though?
Well,
I guess that ended off. Yeah,
that's the fun thing. But the thing with that game is that you have to start at Raiders and then Temple, then Last Crusade. You can't just pick. They all jammed them on one card. I guess they figured old Dusty can sell each game on its own. I don't know.
Yeah, that's weird because in that era, Indiana Jones was still pretty huge. You think they could have probably done that? They did that with Back to the Future as well. Remember?
Oh, yeah, but those games are brutal. Now there's not one good one, except the Telltale one. I think is the only one that's good.
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
Because they tried to pitch that as if there would be a Back to the Future 4 script, it would be this. Remember they were saying that about that?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, Matt, that is a good price. So that would be probably closer to like 150 US, maybe a little bit more, maybe 160 US for all three, which I think that's a pretty good price.
Chad wants to hunt down in-box examples of every G.I. Joe video game ever made. Not like there's many of them. Well, there's a few, buddy. There's a few.
Jay got one at Brody's.
Yeah, the 2600. Yeah.
Yeah. That one is a cool one. I don't know anything about G.I. Joe. Well, I know very little about G.I. Joe. But that seeing that when we pulled that out, it just looked really cool.
Yeah, look at this one. Woo! Yeah, this is that's rock and roll. For all you non-Joe fans, geez, yeah, we got this one at Brody's.
Is the snake rock and roll or is the guy rock and roll?
The guy's rock and roll. The snake is a cobra. Yeah, this one's great. It's look at how this box opens, chat. It just opens like so. You got the old Parker Brothers inserts, and then you got your G.I. Joe Atari game with the sticker still intact, which for 2600 games is pretty rare because, you know, the dirty old glue they use always comes off. Oh, it smells like my Aunt Connie too. Oh boy, dude, it smells like an old bookstore. Boy, getting back to it.
It's how the majority of current day classified collectors are. They don't know lips about Joe. I miss G.I. Joe. Like, I think I was just born a little bit afterwards where I was just like not on my viewing. I don't know.
Yeah, that would have been the first Transformers, He-Man, Joe.
Yeah, because the OG like G1 Transformers I never really watched either because that was like super early morning TV. Same with Thundercats and He-Man. Like I was just after all that stuff.
So yeah, your Transformers was like Beast Wars, right?
Yep. That was my first. My first Transformers was Beast Wars.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there's the age difference there. Yeah. No, I get it, man. And that's not to get into a whole toy thing here, but that's why one reason I really love Transformers, even though the base stuff and going forward is not for me, it's nice to see that they're kind of pushing it forward at least a little bit. Although they're kind of doing retro stuff now. But anyways, enough about that. Flashback, the sequel to Out of This World. This is for the Genesis by US Gold, I think is just the publisher. Anyway, Steve gives it a 9. Hot on the heels of Out of This World is a superior sequel that takes the style of the original and cranks it up a couple levels. You get a similar search, destroy, escape mission with graphic intermission laced throughout that are so intense they don't seem to belong on a home console. Casual pace, but completely ripping. Whoa, buddy. Whoa, buddy.
Sorry, I was responding to Ashley.
It's okay.
Flashback is incredible. The storyline really grabs your interest, and the cinema displays are very detailed. The shining point of Flashback is the awesome animation throughout the entire game. While there really wasn't much music, the sound effects really helped the tone of the game. It's kind of a short adventure, though. Bow.
Oh, I was looking at Martin's there. Okay. Yeah, these games are good. They were definitely impressive for the time. Technically, what you could do on Super Nintendo and Genesis. Again, it uses that rotoscoping animation style, which is just really, really cool. Oh boy,
It was pretty groundbreaking back in the day.
What the hell is STD?
STDs. We can help you win.
Oh my God, Handy Boy is gonna give you an STD. We can help you win. Oh my God! Goodbye, everybody.
Look at that monstrosity! Oh my God!
Chad, I don't know what to do here. I don't know how we can go forward.
Do we need to find a Handy Boy now? Saying that out loud actually seems really wrong.
You can find this, by the way, at Sears Funtronics. I don't even want to know the people that are hanging out at the Sears Funtronics section to get the STD Handy Boy. Jesus! Oh, yeah, and on top of it all, it says fully loaded.
Yeah. Hey, Ma, I need a Handy Boy for my Game Boy.
Oh, okay. This is one piece, right? It just... no. Okay. Matt says, let me highlight this. This is nothing compared to the add-on I had for the Game Boy. The one I had was humongous and needed 4 Ds or a plug to run. Oh, dude. No doubt. It just, the name's pretty freaking hilarious. Will, there's the next challenge. The next store we go into, I mean, you got to ask for the handy.
Ugh.
You got to ask for the handy.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to go in a store and be like, hey, you got any Handy Boys?
Okay, look.
I'm going to be kicked out.
I think right now we need to get a coffee. Let's get a 3-minute coffee break going here. Everyone can relax with their Handy Boys. And what we're gonna do is, oh my God, I can't unsee it. I can't unsee it. Okay, no, we don't want that. We want to share screen. There we go. Okay, guys. So give us 5 minutes here, and we'll be back with some more. The year was 1990. The console wars were in full swing between the NES, the Sega Genesis, and the TurboGrafx-16. The 16-bit battle between NEC's TurboGrafx-16 and Sega's Genesis was in its second year. With both systems having impressive launch lineups, it was now time for the competitors to enter year 2, where the gloves would really come out. This exciting time in gaming history has always been burned into my brain thanks to the incredible cover and story from Electronic Gaming Monthly issue 8. Each system would have massive releases in 1990. I was entering high school during this time and was lucky enough, thanks to my mom and my new restaurant job, to have both systems. Sega would release such hits as Ghostbusters, Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, and the arcade smash hit Strider by Capcom, which was faithfully ported over by Sega. While on the other side of the battlefield, NEC put out Bloody Wolf from Data East, a Zelda clone called Utopia by Hudson Soft, and launched their console's official mascot, Bonk, also by Hudson Soft. It's also important to note at this time that although Nintendo didn't have their own 16-bit system yet, their 8-bit NES had no problem keeping up with the other two. There was another game that I distinctly remember. It was in the pages of Electronic Gaming Monthly number 12 from July 1990. It was incredible looking, colorful, vibrant, dark, gruesome. It was unlike anything I'd ever seen before. But we're getting a little ahead of ourselves here. Before Splatterhouse was released on the TurboGrafx 16, it was an arcade game created by Namco and released in 1988. Upon its release, the arcade game would receive praise for its excellent graphics, sound design, and pushing the boundaries with its graphic nature. Namco was clearly inspired by Western horror films, and the love for them shines through with the game's visuals. Splatterhouse the arcade game was directed by Shigeru Yokoyama. Nintendo had really strict publishing rules back then, being that if a game appeared on the NES, it wasn't allowed to appear on any other console for a minimum of 2 years. To get a game published on the NES back then, you had to understand that if there was anything Nintendo deemed inappropriate, they had the right to change it. This would certainly include blood and gore, and Splatterhouse was chock full of that. That being said, the very first Splatterhouse game to hit home consoles was on the Famicom. In 1989, Namco released Splatterhouse Wanpaku Graffiti for the Famicom. The game was very different than the arcade version. It used little cutesy cartoon characters. That being said, there was a pretty good chance that Nintendo didn't want anything to do with the arcade version anyway, and this is as close as they wanted to get to that version of Splatterhouse. This meant that over here in the Western world, the arcade version of Splatterhouse was fair game for the TurboGrafx 16.
Splatterhouse. Only for the TurboGrafx 16 system from NEC.
I purchased the game in 1990 and was in love. It was so different. And being such a horror fan myself, it was really cool being the bad guy in a game. Even though you weren't really the bad guy, you certainly felt like you were. I remember picking up the box for this in an electronics boutique and being completely blown away. The cover art was unlike anything I'd ever seen before. In the bottom left-hand corner, the box read, "The horrifying theme of this game may be inappropriate for young children and cowards." I don't know who that message was for exactly, but it was awesome. In terms of print media, Splatterhouse was absolutely everywhere, donning the cover of Turbo Play, having ads in game magazines. This also included a comic strip that fleshed out the story a little bit further. Splatterhouse for the TurboGrafx 16 is a side-scrolling beat-em-up. The story is nothing new. It's one we've heard a million times, but classic nonetheless. It stars Rick Taylor and his girlfriend Jennifer Willis. The two students find themselves caught in a rainstorm. They see a giant house in the background and quickly run to it. This is known as the West Mansion, or the Splatterhouse. Rumor has it that this was once the home of Dr. West. It is said that in the halls Oh my. His Grizzly Express. You guys still talking about Handy Boys? I don't even know. It's a little creepy, don't you think? Handy Boys. All right, Splatterhouse, get out of here. Guys want to finish that up? It is on my channel under the History of Video Games tab. I would appreciate your feedback. Let me know what you guys think about those videos. No, maybe. Oh, buddy, I missed you. I miss you so much. Where is my my video game magazine? There we go. Where's Willie? Willie's not back yet. There we go. Okay, we'll continue with Battle Grand Prix for the Super Nintendo from Hudson. Hudson made everything. Hudson made nothing. They made everything. Forget about what, Raj? What are you saying? Forget Street Fighter, Killer Instinct, 5%. Mortal Kombat, dude. I feel like Mortal Kombat is a little unfair to put that in there. Mortal Kombat for sure is going to win. If you put like Mortal Kombat 3 or something, maybe, but the first one is going to win. I'm a wet blanket, Raj, with this stuff. I'm not excited about Jurassic Park, no. I don't like dinosaurs. I know, here we go. Blast me. Fight me. The only dinosaurs I like are the G.I. Joe kind, right, Chad? And Dino Riders are not bad either. They're not too bad. There's the Handy Boy again for everyone to get their giggles out. Let us continue here. Battle Grand Prix. Hudson Soft brings you all the grandeur of racing. Battle Grand Prix. Okay. I don't recall this game. I don't know if you guys ever played Battle Grand Prix or not. But nonetheless, Steve gives it a 5. Average gamer, if you're coming to Big Time Gamers, you and Rusty, you guys have to ask for the handy boy. I'm just saying, you got to ask Don for the old handy boy. It's interesting that Hudson would put this game up against the Mode 7 Enhanced Racers filled with a graphic candy. Being a fan of over-the-top drivers, however, I had hoped that this entry might have some new spins on the genre. Although there are some cool techniques to master, the action never really grabbed me. It's average. It's average. Matt says, you don't like the Dino Bits. You're about to get a Discord call. I like the Dinobots. Yeah, you're right. The Dinobots too. I just never been like, I know most kids from our gen are like, they were all crazy about dinosaurs. And so when Jurassic Park came out, it was like this really big thing. And obviously the game, or not the game, the movie's, it's huge. It just wasn't my thing. I'm a wet blanket, Raj. I'm sorry, buddy. And Ed gave this game here a 6 for Battle Grand Prix. He said, I really enjoyed playing racing games, but unfortunately, this one just doesn't hold my interest. The constant overhead display with the annoying split screen is a real turnoff because you can't see what's coming up. The amount of options is nice, but other than that, it's just a simple racing game without much flair. Dinos are legendary. Rusty, fight me. Chad says, yeah, not a Dino fan really, unless it's the Dino Bits or the Dino Hunters from Joe. Yeah. Raj says, Jay, please inform these clueless constructs in your chat that a gamer who does not like Jurassic World is a coffee drinker who doesn't like milk. Buddy, that's me. Black, buddy. No cream or milk in this because that's disgusting. You don't drink milk from another animal. I'm just saying. You don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Friday Night Versus. Oh, I miss it. HCC. I miss it. I do. I got something fun planned for the 100K. Don't you worry. All right, we're moving on to Dream Probe by Renovation again for the Super Nintendo. This one looks like it is young girl trapped in a science and a dream machine. Blah, 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 blah. Looks like just a side scroller. I've never heard of this one either. Although Dream Probe, put that together with Handy Boy, and we got something wild. You know what I'm saying? Something wild. Although Dream Probe boasts some interesting effects, there really isn't anything mind-blowing here. You get your standard scrolling hack and slash served up with a package that isn't bad. It's just kind of weird. The action never really heats up, and the linear style of play was a little too easy and repetitive for my taste. Oh my god, I have to burp. This is me. Woo!
Sorry, dogs were taking a little bit longer outside.
That is okay, my friend. Welcome back. Butters! What's up, dude?
What were we reading?
We finished Battle Grand Prix. We're on to Dream Probe.
All right. You did your review?
Yep.
Okay. I was really expecting more from Dream Probe. This is a good variety in the levels with plenty of nice scenery to look at. But when you play the game, you find the power-ups are rather mild, and the bosses slow down the game too much. The music seems a bit repetitive, and the sound just doesn't grab you.
Matt, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying. Raj's comment was so absolute. He must be a Sith Lord. Raj said Will, and Will's going to be on my side with this one. Person who doesn't like dinosaurs is like someone who doesn't like milk in their coffee. I'm just saying, it's unnatural to put another animal's milk in your food. Do you like cheese, Jay? Yes, I did. Okay, you guys win. You guys win. I'm sorry. Hey, Willie, it's the Lost Vikings.
I don't know. I unnatural to put milk in a coffee? What? I'm confused.
No, it's unnatural for like humans to drink the milk of another animal. I think it's just weird. Although I eat cheese, of course I do.
Yeah, but we eat other animals, so it's not really that weird.
You eat other animals.
Yeah, you used to too.
I used to, and then I woke up, and I'm like, "Hey, wait a minute. We don't need to do that. We don't need to."
And then I have to eat double the amount of animals to make up your lack of doing so. Gosh.
Oh, so it's my fault. It's my fault. Rusty, get out of here. Oh, you guys are amazing. You're amazing. I love y'all. I love y'all. Lost Vikings by Blizzard Entertainment. But of course, they don't get mentioned here. But Interplay, who's a division of Atari, published this bad boy for the Super Nintendo. Or maybe they translated it from the Blizzard game. Do you know, Will? I don't know.
Actually, I don't know the full story on that one. No.
Okay, so 6. Any Lost Viking fans, by the way, in the chat? I know JP likes this one. Although
JP loves it.
Credit must be given to Lost Vikings creators. You can even say Blizzard for dishing out a solid package of superior visual and audio enhancements. The gameplay didn't turn me on like the Handy Boy. You can't make this stuff up. I like the twists that the Vikings put on the run-of-the-mill puzzlers, but having to pilot all these heroes to an exit individually quickly became redundant. So this is like Lemmings? I've never played it. Is it? Or
no, because like you control the Vikings. Each Viking has a different ability that'll help you get past like certain puzzles and enemies. You kind of use all three to scale and traverse the level.
Impossible Pie. Animals taste good. I'll quote Pulp Fiction without the swearing. Sewer rat may taste like pumpkin pie, but I wouldn't know because I wouldn't eat the filthy mother effer.
Nah, I'd probably still eat it.
Will eat it. Will eats anything. Give it to Willie, he'll eat it. Oh my God. Look what's next. Oh.
I like how he just skips my review. It's cool. It's all right.
Oh, did we miss yours? Sorry. Go ahead. Lost Vikings.
Wow.
Blizzard, go.
Another excellent job from Interplay.
Lost Vikings sucks. Sorry, go ahead. Go.
Once you play, you're greeted with excellent soundtracks with plenty of bass. The puzzles are very difficult, but are never very frustrating. The Viking characters have their own personalities, complete with comical antics. This game is a definite must-get. That's what I was thinking of, Matt. Demolition Man with the rat burgers. They all seem to really like them. I don't know. It could be all right.
Pigs eat and root in crap. I'm going to eat nothing that doesn't have, what does he say? Oh, I screwed up the line. Something that doesn't disregard its own feces. What about a dog? Well, a dog don't eat their own feces, but they're definitely dirty. I don't know. I screwed the line up. Forget it. We're moving on.
I'm pretty sure some dogs do eat their own feces. That's not a good analogy.
Yeah, mine does. It's disgusting. But anyway, we're moving on. All right. Bubsy. We had Bubsy the Bob Cap on the Sega Genesis, but Accolade said that's not good enough. We want this on the Super Nintendo now because it's so good. And it got a gold seal.
I can't trust this publication anymore.
But my boy Steve knows what's up because he gave it the low 7. While I enjoyed the detail in Bubsy, the play mechanics and lack of a diversified technique to learn and master brought this card down a couple of points. All the elements are here, but a lot of the finesse that similar games demand just isn't found here. The levels are long, however, and the game does have some moments. What does that mean, the game has some moments? What does that mean, Steve? I'm calling Steve. Steve! Steve never picks up when I call him, dude.
Well, yeah, when your late night antics of asking him about video games.
Shush.
Give Bubsy a good review. I did that years ago. I can't go back in time.
He's like, who is this? Why are you reading that old dusty book?
Leave me alone.
You know what year it is, kid? It's 2025. It's time to evolve. Steve, why you hate me?
Do you know what year it is, though? The year of the Bobcat. After playing this card, I can truly say this game is terrific. Ugh. Bubsy's tons of animations really add a humorous side to the game, and his voice before each level is also funny. The level effects are great with colorful graphics and many hidden areas to find. What more could you ask for? I don't know, a better character.
Will?
Yeah?
Can you please bring up Google?
Oh, God. Okay.
You type in this. I want to see if it exists. Because what more could you ask for? I tell you what you could ask for. You could ask for Bubsy on the Atari Jaguar. Is this a thing? I know there's Rayman.
Bubsy in Fractured Furry Tales.
For the Jag?
It's a platform game developed by Dramatic Design, published by Atari Corporation for the Atari Jaguar in North America in December 1994. Whoa. It's the third entry into the Bubsy series.
Well, I know what's going on my list, chat. We're going to have some Bubsy Jaguar. Dude, how many Jag games have we found? Especially boxed, like hardly any.
Good Times had some, I think, right?
Yes, and Game Cycle, shout out to Game Cycle. They have Wolfenstein boxed. That's been there for a while.
Big Time had some for sure. I know that.
Oh well, yeah.
But he's Don's got everything. You want something? You go to Don.
Hipster move, cut. You got it. Okay.
Didn't Brody's have a bunch too?
I don't remember.
Or was that the Sega CD? Or was that the Saturn games we saw that they had a bunch of?
That load we went in last time, that was like with Warcraft 2 and stuff, that was all Saturn.
Yeah, that's right.
Because they had friggin' Mega Man 8 on Saturn, man. I was like, oh my God. It's like 350. Yeah, we're missing out, dude. Because Cool Spot for the Genesis by Sega. Oh, that explains why it's so good. I did not know that Sega made it. So that's why it's quality. There you go. 8. Any Cool Spot fans out there?
Maybe now.
Cool Spot is a right on target action winner from Virgin Interactive. Well, why does it say Sega there then?
Typo.
The game is filled with some great sights and sounds, and the interaction and control are tweaked just right to deliver good response and open up a host of special techniques. The personality and the Spot characters is captured perfectly. The game is a lot of fun.
I feel like I gotta get this now.
Well, I'll tell you what. It's yours. Go ahead. You can tell me how it is. You're good.
I don't know. Something's calling me to it. We talked about this last issue. Now I'm starting to think, like, do we get these, like, fast food mascot games? Like, is this a thing now? Is this what we need to do?
I think it is. Oblivion, what's going on, my friend?
Hey, Oblivion.
So it's like a subdivision, right? So there's mascot war games. Now these are like a sub in that, which is like mascot fast food. I don't know. Like Yo Noid is good. This is supposedly good. What are some other ones? Mick Kids on NES, I heard was all right. Pepsi Man, yeah, there you go. Pepsi Man on PlayStation.
That was like a Japanese only game, though, right? Like you have to import that one.
Pepsi Man. Yes, I think. I don't know.
Oblivion, when he would come into the Discord, you can have your custom intro, and that's what his used to be.
Oh, nice.
It would come in and be like Pepsi Man.
That's amazing.
Cool Spot given a 9 by Ed. Cool Spot is one of those licensees. There we go. That you knew you could become a great game. You knew it could become a great game? Really? How How would somebody know that? Are we missing something? The levels are all spectacular with nice scenery. The music is to complement the action. Spots many features like shooting soda bubbles and speaking in a squeaky voice are nice touches. Okay. So don your shades and grab a soda. This one's great.
Okay. So I never really drank 7-Up. I always found it kind of revolting. Same with ginger ale. Yeah. So I mean, as a Coke guy and Pepsi, but I mean, I would drink it. But to me, 7-Up had to be ice cold. And I don't mean ice cubes because, the parents that had the case of pop downstairs, right? And it wasn't in the fridge. And then you put ice in it. And it's just not the same. Putting ice in it to make it cold is not the same as it being cold and then adding ice. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So the only 7-Ups I ever recalled having were the warm ones from the basement with 3 ice cubes in, so it got watered down really quickly. Just yeah. No good. Mutant League Football, Matt Rubin.
We made it.
From Electronic Arts for the Sega Genesis. We've seen this one a few times. This and Mutant League Hockey are awesome games. They're just great. 6, though. Although I appreciate the premise of this game, I like the way it expands the limits of normal football. The play mechanics are stolen from the Madden games, and program enhancements that built up the alien theme seem to bog it down. The graphics are good, but kind of messed up. Not bad, but it could have been better. Well, it uses the Madden engine. You can't steal from an engine that's from your own company. And 2, it does have frame rate issues for sure, but it's still fun.
Ed gave it a 7. Cross a bunch of brainless mutants with skills of football players, and what do you get? A fun game with action like you've never seen before. Killer plays like bashing the referee and killing opponents are just part of the fun. The playbook is huge and contains many really unique ones. Okay. More fun with 2 players.
Yeah. Chad's all about that ginger ale. Who else's parents brought them ginger ale when they were sick? It was going to do something magic. And it did for some weird reason.
I do like ginger ale. I just like a nice ginger ale from time to time.
Nice little handy boy. All right, moving to X-Men for the Genesis by Sega. Steve gives it a 6. The X-Men is a cool license, but the game manages only to capture the powers and skills of the best of the bunch, with little innovation along the way. The interaction is a bit jerky. For a comic-based title, there should have been more emphasis on fluidity. The gameplay is straightforward. Stuff replayed with different characters.
Huh.
What?
The gameplay is straightforward. Stuff replayed with different characters. That doesn't seem like a complete sentence.
Yeah, I don't know.
Weird.
Yeah, anyway, got a 6. That's not that great.
Sure, the X-Men comic series is still one of the most popular, but this game is not a fantastic effort. I wish there were more characters to choose from. The music and sounds are simply repeated noises from other Sega games. Yes, there is a lot of technique to the game, and that's the real strong point. 7. You were giving this game praise, but it doesn't sound like it was very hot.
Yeah, I mean, anything that Sega makes, particularly in this era, was really good. Like the Sega Spider-Man game is great. JP, this isn't the one. Oh, you did Clone Wars, which is the second one. Okay. Oblivion says Mountain Dew it.
See, Mountain Dew's one that I definitely not a big fan of.
No, I think it's disgusting. That's just me. I've had it a couple of times. I've tried. Because it's like, the meme, right? It's like the gamer's drink, right? And so I'm like, okay, I'll get Mountain Dew and Cheetos and we'll see what's going on. I can't do it, man. I don't know if it's the same idea where it came out of the can warm and I had to use ice, which is disgusting. I don't know. I just don't like it though. Oh God, Matt, we're going to get a call from Matt in a second. Jolt Cola, buddy. That's going back. Take that.
I forgot about Jolt.
He's sticking up your Lee jeans, buddy. You think about that.
So to be fair, recently people got me into Dr. Pepper Zero, the zero sugar one. It tastes just like Dr. Pepper. It's great. I've actually been enjoying that lately.
Oh, nice. That would be good.
I've been trying to like not have as much like sugars. That's why I drink the black coffee. My sodas are usually sugar free. You know, trying to look healthier while not.
You should just take the sodas and cut them out, dude.
But I like it.
I know, dude. I do too. I also like many things that aren't good for you, but yeah, at my age, you got to say no. You'll get there. Iced tea for life. Yeah. Okay. Not bad.
Yeah, I've never been a big like iced tea person. Not that I don't like it. It's not for whatever reason my go-to.
Beck's Zero is the best drink ever. There you go. All right. Afterburner 3 for the Sega CD. 4.
Mountain Dew in Canada is different? Really? I didn't know this.
Obviously not for the better. No, it's I love it. Yeah. So Afterburner gets a 4. This is one of those products that just begs to be done on a CD. Imagine the cool jet plane sound, rocket effect, and thumping of the destruction music. Imagine the first-person scaling and your in-your-face enemy fighters. Imagine the Afterburner that doesn't even get halfway in both departments. A disappointment. Steve, that was bad. Just saying.
I
I don't know if you can hear it. Whatever.
Yeah, I can hear it. Afterburner was one of the best simulators in the arcades, and this one is a valiant effort. Although the music is somewhat tame compared to the Afterburner 2, it's not a bad effort. There's plenty of things to shoot, and the weapons are okay, but I really would have expected more from a CD game.
Dude, look at that screenshot. Whew, that's bad, man.
Rough.
Look at the horizon. It's like you could see the break in the colors.
Ugh.
Brutal.
I still stand that like early 3D do not enjoy a lot of the early 3D games.
Like hard driving and race driving.
Oh yeah, so rough.
Just when you thought it couldn't get any cooler, ladies and gentlemen, we have Make Your Own Music Video featuring CNC Music Factory.
Did we talk about this or did we see this one? This sounds familiar for some reason.
I talked about VidGrid for the Jaguar, where you took like Enter Sandman by Metallica and you had to, like, the video was all scrambled and you had to like put it back together before the song was done. But this is making your own video, Will. You ever wanted to make your own video, chat? Well, now's your chance.
Oddly, yes. Is this going to make me better at it?
It's going to make you better at everything.
Oh, okay.
And then I don't know what making your own video with CNC Music Factory's video is going to do for you, but hey, let's follow the artistic vision here. CNC Music Factory was huge in '93, by the way. The one song they had, I can't remember. Gonna Make You Sweat? Is that it? I think so. Well, Steve didn't like it. Not one bit. And he gives it a 3. I really despise these so-called games. You watch a bunch of footage while the song plays. Then you hear a song again, and you see the video. Since there's little to the title besides music, I have to review the band. I hate CNC. Please, enough with the torture. I still have I Missed the Bus ringing in my head. Okay, don't say anything. Who sang I Missed the Bus? Come on, chat.
I Missed the Bus?
Yep. I know because I'm a sickie. I Missed the Bus. Come on, chat. First one. Come on.
I don't even know what the song is. I probably have to hear it to understand it.
Oh, I Missed the Bus. That is something I will never, ever do again. There you go, Billy D. Chris Cross is correct. Good job, my friend. That's a deep cut there. Okay, you're up.
The music video idea seems really cool, but the first CD hit. No, I can't read today.
Let's start again. Take 2.
Cut that out. Here we go. Round 2. The music video idea seemed really cool when the first CD hit, but now it seems that it's getting old. The same film footage for the videos is always being reused, and the video effects seem weak now. But C+C is a good group, and for those who really enjoy their music and don't mind stock footage, then this game will please. 5.
Yeah, not too good. Not too good. Hey, that song Jump by Criss Cross was great. They were 2 little kid rappers, Will, and they wore like baseball and basketball jerseys, but their gimmick was they wore their clothes backwards. So that their shirt was backwards, their pants were backwards.
Is that the crisscross?
Yeah, that was like their gimmick. They wore their clothes backwards.
Huh.
Is
that all it took back then to be a star?
Yep. That song is pretty good. Like Jump is a great song, man. Every song that is called Jump, by the way, is good. Van Halen Jump, Criss Cross Jump. What's the other one? House of Pain, Jump Around.
I know Jump Around.
They're all good. I'm just saying. Everything with Jump, winner.
Google the vid. There's music videos. Hold on.
Yeah, good luck.
Criss
Cross Jump.
Oh, it's the first one that comes up.
I would play it if we wouldn't get in trouble.
They are really little kids. Oh my god.
See you, Matt. Thanks for hanging, buddy. Yeah, they're wearing their clothes backwards. See, you like it. It's good.
Oh, there's a car jumping in the background.
Yeah, you guys could just imagine it. Sing it to yourselves now. I wish we could play music on here. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. Okay. Oh, this page is good, chat. So what we're looking at right here is Magical Chase for the Turbo Duo, which is the holy grail of TurboGrafx games. If you collect TurboGrafx 16 or Turbo Duo, this is the game. This is the grail. This is the one to get. Magical Chase, of course, created by Hudson Turbo Technologies Incorporated. It gets a 7. 7. This is a decent shooter with a really strange premise and background. Although you're operating without photons and shields, the quality and pace of the blaster action is up to par with the majority of titles on the market. Magical Chase doesn't break any new ground, but it does offer up a nice battle. And yes, Will, it's another side-scrolling shooter. Another one on the Turbo. Another.
Didn't they just look at it? Nobody ever told them they're just like, hey, we kind of have enough of these? You're killing our system!
The problem being that poor Hudson, pretty much the whole time, almost single-handedly developed most of the games, right? So you got to keep putting out new games, right, to compete with Sega, Nintendo. What's easy and quick? I'm assuming shooters are. Just saying.
Doesn't make any... The idea of a witch riding a broom is a nice change from the overused ship in space. There is plenty of technique, and the ability to buy power-ups at the store is really nice. The music is great for a chip game, and this one won't bore you after a couple of tries. A definite winner for peoples of all ages. Sounds like so generic.
Yeah, it is actually pretty good. It's like you're like a witch or a wizard flying a broomstick. It's not bad.
I think that's what they said. Yeah, a witch riding a broomstick.
Chad says the only side scroller anyone ever needs is Russian Attack by Konami. Period. Fight me. Your sad devotion to that game hasn't given you clairvoyance to conjure up the stolen data tapes. Okay, Riot Zone. Once again, Turbo Technologies Incorporated for the Turbo Duo. I'm guessing this is like Final Fight, Streets of Rage kind of game. 5. Here we have the occasional CD stumble. Great music with little gameplay. In a world filled with Street Fighter II and its clones, Turbo Technologies Incorporated must do better than games like Riot Zone, which is basically a punch and kick back to the past. Little technique is to be found, and despite adequate graphics, the CD title was a letdown. 5.
What looks to be in the same genre as Final Fight, Riot Zone just doesn't offer much more than kicking and punching. The enemies get repetitive at times, and the sound effects can get annoying too. The music is fantastic, but it doesn't make Riot Zone a great game. It seems a bit too late for its time.
True. Russian Attack and Super Mario 2 are my favorites. Chad, you hipster. I love it. I love it. Okay, DuckTales 2. Here's a rare one, chat. Got hundreds of dollars to throw down on an NES cart? Well, DuckTales 2 might be for you. By Capcom for the NES in 1993. That's pretty crazy. 7. Capcom scores another Disney hit with DuckTales 2. Following up on their other entries into the field, DuckTales 2 gives you the control over the required Disney character and another contest against Nasties and a Mega Man-style universe. The action has a nice pace and the graphics are rendered well for an 8-bitter. All around, a good time.
Yeah, this one I never played, but I heard it wasn't as good as the first.
It's not. Same with Chippendale. It's good, but it's not as good as the first.
All right, DuckTales 2 is enough to make you want to dig out your NES again. The gameplay is wonderfully smooth for the NES. The game has colorful graphics and has challenging puzzles to solve. The music isn't very annoying either. It may seem a bit tough for the smaller tykes, but makes a great game otherwise. Bum bum bum.
Jeff says DuckTales 2 can kiss my grits. Golly.
Wow. Tell us how you really feel.
Oof, look at this motley assortment of games. We got Super Sidekicks for the Neo Geo. And I don't know about you guys, but look at that screenshot. It does not look so nice.
The colors look really off. It hurts my eyes.
7. By SNK for the Neo Geo. Even if you're not a fan of soccer, this game has an endearing and addictive quality to it, employing a simplified control mechanism that can be enhanced with special maneuvers and quick feet. This game does the Neo Geo proud with stunning graphics, great voice and sound support, and continuous interaction. 7.
It seems so generic.
Super Sidekicks. Big whoop.
Neo Geo sports games seem to have more show than go, but Super Sidekicks can really go. The graphics are wonderfully done, the sounds are incredible, and the game is just plain fun. As a one-player game, it's very tough, but as a two-player game, it really shines. This is a game for all soccer fans to check out.
I'll pass. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm good. I kick the ball, it goes in the net. Maybe it doesn't.
Game Boy, Yoshi's Nothings.
Okay, I'm going to just say I like Yoshi's Cookie.
On the Game Boy, though?
Yeah, because I was a Game Boy kid. I had a Game Boy. This is what my brothers and I used to play on like car trips and stuff. I loved Yoshi's Cookie.
Yoshi's Cookie for the Game Boy by Nintendo. 6 from Steve. For a puzzle game, the latest offering by Nintendo is an interesting diversion. Well, it tries hard not to be like Tetris. You can't help but end up with a bad case of deja vu, albeit a somewhat enjoyable episode. This game is not going to set the world on fire, but should do well at addressing the massive starved for yet another Tetris. Or as we call them now, puzzle games.
Yeah. Yeah, puzzle games. I would play Yoshi's Cookie on my phone. Nintendo! Let's release Yoshi's Cookie on mobile, huh?
was the only game they released? Pokemon, or no, Mario Run. Was it Super Mario Brothers Run or something?
Yeah, there was that. They also had there was a Mario Kart.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that. There you go.
Mario Kart something. I don't think it did very well. What was it called? Mario Kart Mobile.
Mario Kart Touch? Handy Boy?
Mario
Handy Boy.
Kart Tour. That's what it was called. I played a bit of it, but yeah, it felt more on rails than anything.
Great.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Wasn't like a Handy Boy, that's for sure.
Yeah, I wish we had a Handy Boy.
Whoa. We're live, buddy. We're live.
That's what it's called. The Handy Boy.
Whoa.
Portable puzzle games have really offered nothing new lately. Once you get used to weird play, Yoshi's Cookie is an interesting idea that really keeps you glued to it for hours. Tetris was always a favorite, but this little green dinosaur may be taking over. Linking up with another player is still the best. You can enjoy Yoshi's Cookie together.
And then throw it up. Yoshi's Nothings.
We
got Double Dragon by Virgin for the Game Gear. Oh, boy. We're really just it's just going down from here.
We're just scraping the bottom of the barrel.
The visuals of this game are strong, duplicating the original title's animated feel. Unfortunately, despite the fact that the programmers have the 1987 look down pat, the gameplay on this classic kicker is weak, with the lack of complex techniques screaming out at every encounter. Not bad, but definitely dated. The
screenshot looks so rough. Ugh.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying, right? To drain your C batteries to play Double Dragon from 1987 and 1993, it just didn't make sense.
Yeah.
When Double Dragon 3 was already out on NES. This is the first one on Game Gear.
Ugh.
I don't know.
Fighting games are relatively new to the Game Gear, and this is a pretty good addition. While there isn't much variety in the moves, there is still plenty of thugs to beat up. The 8-bit tunes were actually catchy, but the overall execution of the game could be better. Still, it's not a bad game for fighting on the go. 7. And now we come to the Unhinged.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Curb Stomp. Thanks for hanging out, buddy. I'm sure we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day at work.
Bye, Curb Stomp.
Oof. Q-Man. Boy, does the Quarterman feel refreshed. We're only going to read a couple of these, so just grab whatever one you feel is good. We're going to move on. So I'm not going to read his intro. That Star Wars one's huge. Oh, my God. I'm going to faint after I read this. All right, let's do it. Do it, Star Wars boy! Star Wars games are becoming a hot trend with a variety of different packages set for all major systems. Top of the list is Rebel Assault by JVC for the Sega CD. This game is going to be a CD blockbuster with tons of digitized footage from the movies and incredible fast action. Wrong! Similar in style to X-Wing computers for X-Wing computer simulation. This game will focus on the Death Star attack, serving up stomach-churning ride through the trenches of the Empire's ultimate battle station. I'm reading it as I see it. The game will also boast a bevy of techno innovations, including new data compression techniques and better color selection. Don't start looking out on the shelves until late this year or early 1994. Lucas is set to release Super Empire Strikes Back, the 16-bit follow-up to the last year's superb action entry later this year. The game follows the storyline of the movie with incredible Mode 7 effects, including 3D terrain, an introduction of the Force, which is invincibility, as well as a new Super Force that allows Luke to throw his lightsaber and control his movements. You'll also be able to accomplish new techniques like the double jump, a la Super Ghouls and Ghosts. Software 2 Works will be lifting their own Star Wars lid with Star Wars Battle Chess for the Sega CD. Unique twist on a typical chess theme. Instead of kings and queens and pawns, Toolworks is serving up Luke's, Leia's, and droids.
I do remember as a kid thinking Star Wars Battle Chess was a cool idea. And then actually playing it, I'm like, chess is just boring. And it makes it so much longer because you have to wait for the animations.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. The animations were bompty-domp, and the Sega CD load times on top of that, yeah. That was I thought the idea of Star Wars dudes were cool in playing chess. But yeah, the load times, the animations, pass.
Let's see here. R-Type, that doesn't sound cool. Let's do this one. Look for Software Toolworks to put their faith in Mario Madness. The company plans to bookend their Mario is Missing game with 5 new titles that address themes like geography, history, math, early learning, and reading. It's a bad idea. The folks at Toolworks are also diving into 3DO in a big way with a new shaded polygon programming routine that will be used to enhance their first title on the machine called Cyber Race. Also, look for a Super NES and Game Boy version of Captain America, a Super NES copy of Wing Commander's Secret Missions due in October, and an AI Unser racing game for the Super NES. What?
Al Unser.
Al Unser?
The guy.
Oh.
Yeah.
For the Super NES and Genesis hitting next February. Star Trek The Next Generation will warp onto both the NES and Genesis, both clocking in at 12 megs, as well as a CD adaptation that will be loaded with the usual goodies.
All right. Well, Al Unser is coming. Maybe some witty YouTuber will make a video on that.
Who's Al Unser?
He's a racer.
Alzheimer's? No, Al Unser.
Al Unser. Al Unser, I made a video on it, like one of the comedy ones. Al Unser Road to the Top for Super Nintendo.
Huh.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, you said it. Am I a fan of Stephen King's It?
Wait. Go back for a sec.
What, Play Like a Champion?
No, go one more back.
Jimmy Connors?
Was this before the Q-Man reviews?
No. Oh, wow. I just skipped this. I thought it was an ad.
No, he's reviewing games.
Quarterman's top 10 reasons why Capcom introduced Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition. So his reviews are like twice as big as a normal review. They're just not color, and there's no number.
Color number.
Bubsy Cool Spawn Total Carnage. Well, we're skipping it. Love you, Q man, but we're skipping because we got to talk about Jimmy. Isn't Jimmy Connors? Wait a minute. Isn't that De Niro's character in Goodfellas? Chat, Jimmy Connors. Anyone?
I don't know. Apparently, he's a racket guy. Is that what you call tennis players? Racketers?
15
Racketeers?
Love. A racketeer. He's a racketeer. We're skipping the release dates.
Sherlock Holmes 2. Hey, Fire and Ice. We were talking about that recently.
Great game with absolute terrible box art.
Hey, Battletoads. Yeah, let's go. Battletoads Double Dragon. Yeah.
Readers' top 10s. Editors' top 10s. Look at number 1 is Flashback. Street Fighter 2 is on the bottom. That's crazy.
Well, eventually it has to go down, right? Oh, freaking Bubsy, though. Bubsy beating out Bomberman is such a...
Oh, Star Fox is number 1. Okay. It's Flashbacks 2. I gotcha.
What's wrong with people? You know what? This timeline, it's over. Bubsy being above all these other games. Oh, what is that?
Whoa, Turbo Duo ad.
It's an editor choice.
It's Bomberman. Look at that guy's digitized. Like, he's got like Christian Slater gleaming the cube hair, but he looks like River Phoenix. Like, look.
Does he? I just see a blotch.
Are we at 99.9? Really? Let me look.
What?
Raj just says we're at 99.9 subs.
I think so, yeah. It's going up. It's going up, baby!
Oh my god, we are. Oh my god, my heart.
We're in the final 100.
My heart.
It's the final countdown. If we stay live long enough, we could actually be here live.
99,916, buddy. Oh my god.
Do we just sit here? We just keep going? This could be it. We could roll over on 100,000 live on stream, friends.
Oh, I'm gonna barf. I'm gonna puke.
All right. You know what? I had to cut off, but because I had stuff to do. But you know what? We'll keep going. I feel like this could be a fun moment to be live for this together as a community and friends.
I think it's a good idea. I don't know. We'll see. Wait, what is
Gaming gossip, baby?
We just did this.
Nope. That was a whole different thing. Quarterman's doubling up this issue.
Wait. Oh, it's Q letter for EGM subscribers only. That's what that was. Now this is just for the normies. Oh.
Yep. We're doubling up, baby. We ready for the real unhinged?
Oh God, I thought we already went through this. Then we got to do it again?
Do it for the final 100 subscribers, Jay. Think about it. This is what the people want.
Oh, I'm fine with it. You were the one that said you had stuff to do. I was just thinking of you, buddy. I was
saying we're going to read the whole thing. This is what's going to draw in the last 100.
Do we have to read from the top? Oh my god.
Yeah, we're gonna start from the top.
I have to go first.
Yeah.
We're in 16 meg mode with this month. In this month, my little Q friends, with the hottest info on the super softs like Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition for the Genesis and plenty of pork for your hardware heads as well. What is happening with this dude? I love you, Q, man. Have your ice points in hand and remember that looking at your neighbor will not be tolerated in this classroom. How can the Q begin to classic column without drawing your attention to, oh my god, to the head Ed's cover romp? Street Fighter
Steady.
Edition is coming to June for the Genesis.
Stay on target.
Signed AC rewrites it so weird. Capcom is signed onto Sega and will unleash Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition as their first entry. The Master of All Martial Arts battles will hit the US before it shows its face in either Japan or Europe. Okay, that I didn't know. Did you know that?
No.
I didn't know it came out here first.
Which is kind of weird. You think it would have been the opposite?
Yeah. Packing 16 meg of power, a price tag somewhere in the 60s. Some new features include voice, a barrel bonus stage instead of a brick bonus. Oh, that's right. They changed it. And the ability to play with either the new Sega 6-button pad or the 3-button controller. We've all grown to love. You still have to use the start button to toggle between either kicking or punching. Yuck. And of course, the new boss characters will be added to juice this version up and require everyone to put down $150 for the Super NES and Street Fighter 2 cart to buy another version. Other Street Fighter 2 rumors from Japan have the Super Famicom translation of Street Fighter 2 Turbo version in the works. Capcom won't comment on this, but the Q-Man has it from a highly reliable source. Oh my god.
To be fair, Jeff, there's just the way that Quarterman writes. He's so all over and unhinged.
Yeah.
He just like writes whatever comes to mind and just like sometimes it's like a huge run-on sentence. It's crazy.
I challenge you, Jeff, to read this. The link's in the description. Quarterman, he's something else, dude. It's something else. Okay.
There are a variety of hot softs now in pre-production.
Yes! He said the thing. Sorry.
Hot softs? Hot softs. It's still around. It's a thing. Subscribers should check out this month's Q letter for a complete rundown of new games. Some of the highlights include Bubsy 2 and R-Type 3. Exciting!
Blubsy 2. Why is everyone obsessed with this game? Of course I have it, but that's besides the point. Moving on.
Check out next month's EGM for some possible picks. Exiting this topic, the Cuminator must provide the proper updates for Street Fighter 3. The entire cast of characters will be back for part 3. Huh? With some new additions as well as an interesting new technique that yours truly has been sworn not to reveal, at least until next month. Also, while we're on the subject of juvenile reporting, Capcom will not be releasing Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition in tandem with a Sega CD version. Although a product that includes actors, voice, and music is rumored to be in the works. Is that the Street Fighter movie game?
Oh, no. I love how Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to end it. And Sega has snapped up the rights to the awesome shooter Sylphied from Sega CD developer Game Arts. Okay, go ahead.
No, everyone just... I mean, I was one of these people too, but everyone thought Street Fighter 3 was the next one. But Capcom did 5 versions of Street Fighter. And then I believe... does anybody know offhand when Street Fighter 3 came out? 98, maybe? Does anybody know? Because everyone kept thinking the next version was going to be like when Cammy and DJ and all them came out, oh, that's going to be 3. And it wasn't. It was Super, and then Super Turbo, and then we had the movie one in between, and then we had Alpha. I think Alpha was before 3, wasn't it?
Yes. I'm pretty sure. Yep.
Okay, we can skip 97. Thanks, gamer. Appreciate it.
What are we skipping? No, you got to read the next one.
No more Quarterman. Oh, we're doing the whole thing. Why don't I get the big one?
What do you mean? I got the last one.
Look at the big one I had. You get this little 2 cents.
The last one's just as big as the first one.
Are you all right? We're in the 16 meg mode. You think is as big as the second one. Oh, he's messing with me. Okay. The guru of gossip has learned that Icom Simulations, famous for their Sherlock Holmes games, and their Sherlock Holmes games have sold out either part or all of their company to a Japanese investor looking to get into high-end games. Also, ICOM is rumored to have successfully completed work on the development system, which creates dual versions of the same game that can be instantly ported to any system platform to save, well, I lost it, publishers some big bucks. Acclaim is rumored to be inking a deal with James Cameron's production company. Cameron, who brought us Aliens and the Terminator flicks, is set to deliver a bunch of films for Fox after finishing Spider-Man for Caralaco. What the hell is that? That's what she said. Ha! Zing!
Ba-da-ba.
The Acclaim deal would give the licensing superpower first rights to Cameron's new ideas. Speaking of licensing, don't be surprised if you see a game based on the high-tech, big-budget Godzilla movie coming next year from TriStar. What would that be, guys? Is that Godzilla, the one that was called Godzilla 1985? Because there was the 97 Godzilla, which featured Foo Fighters on the soundtrack. But what Godzilla are they talking about here? The most likely source of the monster carts and CDs would be Sony. For the worst license of the year, or decade for that matter, how about Federal Express? I won't embarrass the company that has plunked down the bucks for this title, but man, is this a stupid license. Fast forward to today, when everything is like Power Wash Simulator and like Paint Drying Simulator, right? Like,
I was just thinking about that. You know what, though? I don't know. I would play a game about like doing package deliveries.
I would try it. I'd deliver that package.
I played Lawnmower Simulator. My lawn's not currently mowed, so you know.
Oh, thanks, HGC. Okay, so was Godzilla movie with the murderer in the lead?
What?
Oh, I guess Godzilla 85 would have been 85. I'm a dummy. I don't.
Matthew Broderick? Like that. When did that come out?
No,
I know that movie. I just don't remember when that came out.
Isn't the Broderick one the 97 one? Or did it just not come out until 1997? Because this magazine's from 1993.
There's so many Godzilla movies. Oddly, though, that was my real introduction to Godzilla, was that movie. Boy, that's a sad time.
A great soundtrack, but unfortunately, yeah, the movie sucked. Tristan, what is up, my friend? Good to see you. The Broderick. Okay, so there wasn't one between 85, the Godzilla 1985 and Godzilla 1997. There wasn't another one. I don't know. Okay, whatever. You're up 3DO boy.
I'm psyching myself up to finish this off because we know from top to bottom he becomes more unhinged as it goes on.
With all due respect, Q man.
Yeah,
it's true. Yeah.
3DO has a special plan up their sleeve to entrench their machine in the hearts and minds of consumers before the cable game systems become operational. The Q-Man has heard from reliable sources that 3DO will market their machine not only as a self-contained game system, but also as an enhanced board for PC owners. As a high-end graphics and interactive upgrade, the quarter wit goes full thumbs up, even if the price is still too high. Atari seems to have a similar plan with their Jaguar, which is targeting the high end of the market with their 64-bit RISC processing mega system. And is rumored to be embracing an end goal of building onto the Jaguar with hard drives, keyboards, and even virtual reality headgear to attract computer heads. Oh, we're only halfway through. Okay. Sega has answered Nintendo's SFX chip with an upgrade of their own called the DSP. Yeah, I know what it stands for, but it's their name, not mine. What's DSP sound for?
DSP stands for awful.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, yeah, got it. The new chip will give Sega games the same speed advantages, but no real palette enhancements. Star Wars games are hot.
That is true.
Yeah. Yours truly has seen development work on not only Super Empire, Great Mode 7 FX with Hills. With Hills?
What's happening? Keep going, man. You're almost at the end. Don't look back.
But also Rebel Assault, great game. An X-Wing fighting game in the trenches of the Death Star? There we go.
He's getting derailed, folks. Keep going.
For Sega CD and Star Wars Battle Chess using the characters in place of chess pieces. All are wicked awesome.
Oh, man. I need a nap. Buddy, it's rough. Like, Q-Man, you're awesome, but jeepers. I'm moving along. What we got here? What is this? Oh, is this the FX Towns Marty thing? FM Towns Marty. That's... Yeah, I remember this thing. Splatterhouse was on this thing. Yeah, I've never seen this before. The new 32-bit Marty will be will play both floppy disk and CD-ROM games.
Oh,
pretty slick, man. Look at that controller, dude. Yikes.
I want it. I need to find an angler. I like that it also has like the license by Nintendo on the box. That makes it feel more official.
What are you talking about? Oh, I am past that. Sorry.
No, I was still looking at the angler.
The ASCIIware.
Yeah.
See if the Super Nintendo controllers. Oh yeah, the ASCII pad. That thing.
Yeah. I call it the angler because it has the fishies on it.
Yeah, the angler.
Anyways, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
So anyway, the FM Towns Marty. What a
the hell is
interesting name. It's like the Fairchild Channel F. The FM Towns Marty.
I've never even seen this thing before.
Yeah, sorry, buddy. Yeah, it's pretty badass, man.
Imagine finding one of these in the wild.
No. I would lose my mind. Like, I would literally lose my mind.
Like, somebody probably, like, you'd find it in a store tucked away in a bin somewhere, and somebody wouldn't know what it was, and then you just come across it and be like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, like, is that an old vaporizer? What is that thing?
Yeah.
Do I even want this thing? Here's another ASCII pad. This time for the Gemesis. Sega Gemesis and Sega CDs.
3-button lose, 6 buttons or nothing.
Yeah, it's just got turbo functions. And I mean, I didn't like that. I remember Mortal Kombat. If you had the regular pad, you had to hold. I think the block was the start button. I don't know. Man.
I don't know. I never played it on there.
Don't know. Don't know if I can do it. NBA Jam leading the edge in the arcades in 1993 here. Very
NBA
cool.
Jam's great. That is a fun sports game.
That is one I'm proud to have, dude, as an arcade one-up. That was my,
I kind of wish I got one of those.
One of my last purchases at EB before I left. I had it shipped in from Quebec from a store that had one out there. Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome. Saturday Night Slam Masters, which I believe has Hagar from Final Fight in it.
Looks like it. I think he's right in there in the top right corner. It looks like Hagar.
There he is. Yep. And Punisher, dude. Punisher is amazing.
That's on the Marvel cabinet, isn't it? That's the arcade one, right?
Yeah. It's also on the Capcom Fighting Collection one that came out last year or earlier this year. They put Punisher on it for some reason. I guess because it was never released. I mean, there's a Genesis version of this, but it's not the arcade, like exact arcade.
Yeah. Yeah, that game's great. It's hard though, but it's great.
Very cool. Very cool. We are on to Q&A. Oh, the game of RIP Game Doctor. We always skip Game Doctor. That's okay.
This like it's just weird technical mumbo jumbo about like fixing machines or doing altercations and stuff. Oh, what is this? EGM reader survey. How old are you?
What page are you on?
65?
65. Oh. How old are you? Look at E. Like
over 24. That like no one over that age read this.
I think the majority of gamers back then were still like everything was targeted at kids, right? So if you're 24 over and still playing video games, well, if you're past 24, forget it. Just forget it.
If you notice in the bottom right, if we fill this out though, you can win a Sega CD down there.
I wonder if that's still a thing. We should for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna fill it out and send it in.
Tristan says, I miss old school Double Dragon games. The new one coming out doesn't look like it will cut it for me. Oh, mate, did you play the one from 2023? What was that called, Will? It's called
Oh frick, I can't remember. I have it. Hold on. I think I have that.
You got it? You got it? Yeah. Tristan, there's one that came out. It was on all platforms. Will show you here in a second. Oh, it was so good. It was really, really cool. And it had some RPG elements to it. Like you could level your characters up. You could go back through it and unlock new characters. See if you can find it there. We'll keep cruising through EGM. Lots of surveys. I love the surveys. Indo Way of the Ninja by Koei. Yes. Great Super Nintendo game. International news. We have Sonic and Tails plushie. We have Street Fighter plushies. Imagine what these bad boys are worth now. Apologies, lads. I made the mistake of sitting still for too long and I fell asleep. The mighty one has returned. Stacy's keeping tabs on you, mister. You better wake up. All right, moving on. Will's looking for his Double Dragon. Oh, what is this thing? Guys, look at this. Look at this ASCII stick.
I couldn't remember if it was for PS4 or PS5, so I had to look through the whole like library. It's Double Dragon Gaiden Rise of the Dragons.
Gaiden, that's it. Tristan, look at that one. If you have not played that, my friend, you can get it digitally. I don't know if the physical is still available, but that's a great game.
Yeah, I haven't opened this copy because I have a digital version on Steam, so I just kept it sealed. But yeah, the game's great.
Yeah. Look at I'm on page 72, dude. Look at this ASCII stick in the bottom left.
The hell is that?
What the heck is that thing?
Just a D-pad with buttons?
I don't know. It looks like you can one-hand it. That's what she said. I don't know. It looks like that.
There's like buttons on the bottom of it?
Adrian says, I haven't played a console in a long, long time.
Yeah, it's like, well, unless you're doing retro, but even then, nowadays, like, most gaming you can just do on a PC anymore.
Well, unless you're doing exclusive, right? Nintendo games. But like even Microsoft has made that obsolete now because all their stuff is on PlayStation and everywhere else.
Even like Sony's bringing stuff to PC now. Like a lot of their first party titles are so like coming to PC, right? Nintendo's the only holdout now.
Dude, they're never, ever going to give up any of their games to anyone else. They just won't. They just won't.
Never going to give you up.
Never going to let you down. Bzz, 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 bzz. Couch co-op, Asian. Yeah, couch co-op is great. I do miss that. As much as I love playing Fortnite with everybody online and stuff, I miss also like GoldenEye and, punching your friend in the face and that kind of thing. What?
So, cool thing, though. I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with the rumors. I don't know if you've been seeing this, Jay. But there was a leaked image for an update coming for the Xbox.
No.
In the overlay, it had a Steam button.
Oh, yes. I've heard.
Apparently they may be working. The whole thing is that, maybe you will be able to link your Steam to your Xbox and play your Steam games right from your Xbox in your living room.
That's interesting. Everyone make sure you check out Jeff. He's just started streaming recently. Give him a sub. Do me a favor. Check his channel out. One hell of a nice guy and absolutely hilarious. So make sure you check out his stuff.
Just Jeff?
Just Jeff on YouTube.
I don't know if I follow Just Jeff. Jeff.
Yeah, that Rusty. Yeah, that is huge. That's what she said also.
But I think that'd be really cool because I'm playing Claire Obscure. Aegean in the chat was very, very kind to gift me a copy on Steam.
Oh, sweet.
And I've been playing it on my PC, but I'm like, if I could play this in like my couch and just lounge, I'd be like, oh, that'd be so nice.
But like everything is meshing together, right? Like consoles, companies, everything is just becoming one. Ultimately, all that matters, and I've always said this in video games, the only thing that matters is the game. I don't care what the hardware can do. I don't care if it can vacuum your house or wash your dog or whatever it can do. I want games. So whatever, just the companies make good games. We'll play them where we need to play them. I do miss the console wars of the 90s, given that there was 5 or 6 different systems out, probably more at any given time. And it wasn't just Sony, Nintendo, and Microsoft, but it looks like we're heading to that, Will, where it's just going to be maybe just Steam and Nintendo,
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to find Just Jeff, but I see another Just Jeff, but I don't think that's the right Just Jeff.
Yeah, Jeffrey's almost at 500 subs. He needs a support over there. Yeah, he's a good dude. Well, you should be able to click on his channel if you click his name in the chat, no?
No.
You can't do that? Okay.
No, it just gives me the option to report or block. I'm like, I don't want any of those.
Don't do either of those. Yeah. Yeah.
Twitch. YouTube needs to fix some of this stuff still. No.
I think searching for a creator still goes by algorithm, I believe.
Yeah, because there's another Just Jeff that comes up, but they're at like 200,000 subscribers.
Yeah, like there's like 3 Jay Bartletts. One's an exorcist, one's a guitar player, and I think there's a chef. No, that was the other Rob McCallum was a chef. Yeah, so I don't know.
Are there other WillyLos? Now I'm curious. Channels. Oh. Good call. There is another WillyLo. Huh. Look at these bootlegs. I'm going to report them all.
Don't you do it. Let's go. Keep going. We're on page 85. Steady. Hold the line. Okay, I'm going to let you lead one here because I'm starting to lose my voice a bit.
Let's see. We got prizes, Jane's on the world. Ooh, Roll of the Rescue, Gods. Interesting. Tiny Toons. Actually, I want to get a copy of this now that you guys are typing it up. I never actually played this on Super Nintendo. You guys were saying it was good.
Tiny Toons?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a fan of Tiny Toons, but
the game was good.
Yeah, the game is supposed to be excellent.
And this is another series I want to start getting into is Phantasy Star. And you guys said to start with Phantasy Star 2, right? Not the first one?
Say it again. I'm sorry. I blanked. Say it again.
Phantasy Star. You start with the second one? The story jumps around, right?
They're all it's like Final Fantasy.
Oh.
So none of them really connect unless it's like 13.2, 13.3 or whatever. But no, Phantasy Star 1 is on Master System. 2 through 4 are on Genesis. And then you get online. Dreamcast, GameCube, Xbox. Yeah, 4 is great. It's one, admittedly, I have not gone through. And from what everyone says, it's the best one out of the single players. I've never actually played too much into it. So.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to go play. WWF Royal Rumble. Okay, I'm in.
What page are you on?
I thought you were on leading it. By LGN. We're on 92.
92. There we go. Royal Rumbus. Yes.
That's not the same arcade one, though, right? No, is it? Yeah.
It's based off of that one, which was made by Midway.
I played the crap out of that one in the arcades. I freaking love that game.
Yeah, Midway is famous during this time for the digitized graphics, Mortal Kombat, High Impact Football, Narc, right? They were doing that when everyone else was doing sprite art still. Mutron, yeah, we were talking about Chalk and the Forever Man. Will said that he was saying, well, you can say it. The box art's really great, and we're trying to find
it. They had a good review of it, and I was like, maybe that'll be one of the Genesis games I'll pick up and play. I feel like that'd be like one of the weird, obscure titles that not many people would know.
Yeah.
I want to get Genesis games that are like not just like the traditional, like obviously I want to play through like Sonic and like Phantasy Star and stuff like that, but some of like the weird stuff that you just wouldn't see anywhere else.
Yeah, Chakan is not Shaka Khan.
Shaka Khan.
Chaka Khan. It's made by Sega, so it's good. It is good, and the guy just looks cool. He kind of looks like Cad Bane a little bit from Star War, from the War.
Yeah. Actually, no, yeah. Now I'm picturing it. Yes, you're right.
Wow, look at the next page, buddy. If you want to see some great art.
Wow. Sumo Fighter for Game Boy.
For your handy boy. Tristan says, Narc was the most extreme anti-drug campaign ever. Loved the game. It was brutal. Agreed. It was amazing. We got an arcade perfect translation of that on the PS2 Midway compilation #1. If you're looking for a copy of that.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a fantastic game.
Yeah, you guys have talked about Narc a few times, and that's one that I haven't played either. Man, too many games.
It's a quarter eater. Huge quarter eater. Yeah.
Biometal. Another one, like, we're talking about the side-scrolling shooting games. One that I really, really want to find is UN Squadron.
Capcom.
I freaking loved UN Squadron.
So good. Our buddy TJC is a big fan of that one.
It's so good.
I'm not trying to derail, but we're at 900 or at 99,923 subs.
Let's go. We're almost there. 100K, baby.
I got like this weird adrenaline thing going on right now.
All right, we're going to jump into some Fortnite after this. That's what's going to do it.
We'll have to. We might have to do a stream. Yeah, we're going to have to live stream this, I think. Again, if you guys are looking to support the channel, memberships or gifted memberships is a great way to do that, to grow our community of legends. If you're looking to support a creator, that's a great way to do it. I'm on the cover story
Champion
104.
Edition?
Yeah.
Yep.
Adrian, I like that idea.
Street Fighter.
I like that idea. Okay, well, I'm going to put it over to you just for a second. I just have to go to the washroom real quick.
Okay.
So you're on
We talk about the Street Fighters, the Champion Edition. We got all the bosses coming. It's just me on Jay's channel. Hi friends. Yeah, I don't know how it's so crazy to me how many iterations of Street Fighter 2 there were. They just kept bringing it out and improving it. What was all your guys' first like exposure to Street Fighter? Was it the arcade version? For me, it was Street Fighter 2 Turbo was when I got into it as a kid. And there was a fun story about it. Like, my dad was the gamer in the house. And some days he would try to sneak in games from my mom. So I accidentally found a copy in the sleeve of his jacket one day. I don't know how about it happened, but like I was walking by and it felt like something was like hard in his jacket when I was going into the den that we had where we used to play games. And I pulled out this copy of Street Fighter and I was like, what the heck is this? I popped it in, just kept playing it all the time. Oh my God. UN Squadron is great. Did you know about the sequel Carrier Wing? No, I didn't even know they did a sequel to that. It started with the arcades at the 7-Eleven store for you, Cutthroat. Okay, Jay had to walk away and freak out. Yeah, he's got a little performance anxiety. It's okay. He'll recoup.
Oh wait, he's here. It happens to the best of us. Yeah, I'm a little shaky. We're doing good here. We're talking about Champion Edition.
Oh, in Northland Mall, Average Gamer. Oh, I was asking where everybody's like first Street Fighter game that they played and where they played it, like whether it was in the arcades or like Super Nintendo. I was saying my version was Street Fighter 2 Turbo was the first one I played.
Really?
Yep.
World Warrior at Wizards. Gamer knows. Wizard Downtown. JP knows. Yeah, we used to have 3 arcades, Wizard 1, Wizard 2, and then we had Ace. And World Warrior was at Wizard 1. And like I'm just gonna say it, like Street Fighter 1 is terrible. It's horrible.
Yep.
And when Street Fighter 2 came out, I remember it was just like, oh, I remember that clunky old Street Fighter 1, and 2 obviously was nothing like it. It was improved in every way. It just took off, man. The game is magic. It's just magic.
Yeah, but if you go back and look at like videos of like I've never played the first Street Fighter, but it looks rough.
It's not good.
Was that the one they could label Fighting Street, or am I misremembering that?
Yeah, Fighting Street was the home version of that on the Turbo CD. Another weird, like, why they called it Fighting Street? It was just weird. It was slow, and yeah, if you did a fireball, you could only be Ryu or Ken, by the way. And if you did a fireball, which was a half circle, if you could pull it off, you take your opponent down to half health. It was like so powerful. But it's not that great.
Carrier Wing.
Yep, so we can be Balrog, Vega, Sagat, and Bison with their different color palettes, and you could also play character versus character for the first time. So Guile could face himself.
Are you watching the chat because you're eyeballing the sub count? Let's go! How do we get one of those sub counts on the screen? You know, you ever see those videos of people doing that? Are they just faking it, or is there a way to actually do that?
No, I think you can do it. Like, what do you have? Because
I can't see that.
Subs on Twitch are basically like memberships here. But you always have.
I just see count. On your thing. I just see a 99.9K, but I don't see like the other number. I can't even like click on your profile to see it.
Oh, I don't know if you can go in depth like that. I can keep a tab open.
No, that's okay. That's going to give you more anxiety.
Oh yeah, like my heart's going like crazy. Yeah, it's at 99926.
We're close.
Whew.
Tell your friends. 74 subscribers away from 100,000 subscribers for Jay. Get the word out, friends. Get them out there. Let people know.
And we're gonna have a party for sure. For sure. Some good stuff planned. I promise you that. There we go. We got a super chat from the lovely Rusty. Everyone like and subscribe, you friggin' legends.
That's right.
Appreciate that, my friend. Thank you so much for that. Nope. Nobody creators can see every single sub. Oh, nobody but creators can. Okay.
Okay. That makes sense.
Rusty, thanks again, my friend. I appreciate it. We are at, where am I? Page 110.
Yep. With the Chun-Li girl and Sonic down there.
Well, what is this? First-hand preview reviews.
So there's a pre-review?
Who's Ken?
Ken's the character on the screen right there.
Yeah, but Ed and Ken are reviewing it? What the? Ken can't review his own freaking game, can he? It's possible? This game is worth waiting. Oh, you're Ed. Sorry. Go ahead.
Wow. Just okay, fine. Whatever you want.
I was just
a
doing the
big
top
100K.
I'm used to the top one. That's what she said. I don't know. Go ahead.
This is a game worth waiting for. Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition for the Genesis has everything I had been hoping for. Although it was only 80% complete at the time, this version had much to offer. While the animation and sounds may have not been on par with the Super NES version, the remaining 20% will hopefully solve that problem. The combo moves are easy to execute, and playing as the bosses is the best part of all. Overall, Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition is a great effort between Capcom and Sega.
Yes. Yes. Ken, whoever you are, after several hours of diehard gameplay, I was very impressed. Even though this version was only 80% complete, it played better than the arcade version. Come on. Ken, come on now. Basing it on the Japanese version was a smart move, as it adds several elements missing from the US game. The combos, including some new ones, are all intact, and I trust that the sounds will be improved over this prototype. The colors, detail, animation may not be as smooth as the Super NES Street Fighter 2 The World Warrior. It is more complete thus far. Okay. Okay. Moving on. Oh, Will, we're like, how you doing, buddy?
We're getting there. Man, these issues are just,
Oh, man. I still think there's a couple of issues that we did in the past that we didn't come back to that we did have. Pretty sure there's a few of those. But anyway, moving on. Star Fox, great game. Moving on. Look at the guy's setup on page 113. It's like a designer. Look at his...
is he in a leather jacket?
Super high tech. All right, super high tech. He's wearing a leather jacket. Star Fox, any Star Fox fans? This one is great, but everyone knows the 64 one is where it's at.
Yeah, like at the time of playing Star Fox, like it was just like, oh my god, this is amazing looking and stuff. But going back and playing it, honestly, I think it's a little rough.
Yeah, it's rough now, but it's like any of those. Well, a lot of those games from our past as kids, right? It's like maybe they should be kept in the memory department.
Yeah,
instead of replaying it, you know. I don't know. Like Mario's missing. I never played this back in the day simply because I didn't want to be Luigi. I know that might be a bad thing to say, but I don't care.
I don't know. Well, now I was watching JP play Luigi's Mansion. I freaking love those games. The Luigi Mansion games are so fun.
That's fair. Tristan, are you talking about Mario is Missing or Star Fox? Ultimate Fighter. Firepower 2000. Sunsoft. This is sad, Jay. Luigi is an absolute unit or tool. I would say tool would be
wow.
Proper way to describe him. Star Fox.
Tasmania.
This is Sunsoft. This is the Super Nintendo one. Sega does the Tasmania on Genesis. That's right.
I think I played the Genesis one at a cousin's house once, and I was like, this game's pretty fun.
And it's our buddies at Sunsoft, man. We love Sunsoft.
Sunsoft's great.
They're awesome.
Underrated. Nobody talks about Sunsoft anymore.
Yeah. I think there was a Sunsoft collection that came out not too long ago. But I mean, it's not going to have Batman on it and stuff, right? Because it's licensing and all that.
Wait a minute. Keep going. I'm a little bit ahead of you, but
Alien versus Predator, anyone? Which page are you on?
yeah, Alien versus Predator. I thought like Alien versus Predator was like still a ways away from now.
Activision for the Super Nintendo.
Huh. Because I thought like wasn't it like a first person game, the first Alien versus Predator? That's what I thought of. I never knew this existed.
No, that was the Atari made that for the Jag.
Yeah.
But this was before that. There was actually Alien versus Predator, the arcade game, which is friggin' incredible, by the way, by Capcom. That game is sick, man. So sick. That was before all this, I think.
Mario and Luigi Mario. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's true. His last name is Mario.
Yeah.
Mario twins. Imagine a world without Mario. Yeah, you get a game that doesn't sell.
We just have Sonic.
Or Luigi.
Or Toad. Just a universe where a platformer sells like crazily just based on Toad.
Just based off of Toad. Oh, you guys want the ultimate platformer? Turn to page 128. Super Widget.
The hell's a widget?
Remember Super Widget?
No. Is this a failed mascot? What is this? Super Widget.
It looks like a Hanna-Barbera cartoon character, but I don't know what it is.
Huh. Does it give it
gamer.
a
Pac-Man for the 2600 is an abomination. So much so that I thought Pac-Man was terrible because I never played the arcade game. But yeah.
HEC says it was a shitty cartoon. Huh.
Oh, Widget was? Okay.
Hey,
Widget.
Salmon King.
There you go.
We're back, baby. Fishing's back.
Oh, he's an alien. I don't recall that cartoon whatsoever.
That does not ring a bell to me at all.
Widget? WillyLo's going to play this game. What, Widget? That's going to be on the list.
Or Salmon King. I'll play Salmon King. You want me to play Salmon King? I'll do some fishing.
I'm putting Bubsy on Jaguar on the list. Good luck.
Then I'd have to get a Jaguar.
No, I'm going to do that.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Ugh. Don't do that to me.
Mutron says the Jungle Strike is awesome. Oh, yes. You and Den was talking about this one a lot, too. This is by EA for the Genesis. Well, never really got into it too much. Looks super, super sweet. Cyborg Justice, not just your regular justice, for cyborgs.
Justice for everyone. Is this just like a beat 'em up?
Yeah.
Looks like it. You get like upgrades for your cyborg and stuff, though. That seems kind of neat.
By Sega. Not bad, not bad. Here's your Lost Vikings. It's a pretty cool ad. Interplay. There's not one mention at all of Blizzard anywhere on this whole ad, which is sick.
I'm going to zoom in here. Quality assurance, Interplay.
HGC, look at this. There were 2 seasons of Widget. 65 episodes total from 90 to 91.
That's a lot of episodes.
Is it Hanna-Barbera, HGC? Because it looks like one of those kind of characters. Hanna-Barbera was always kind of bootleg.
It does have like a Hanna-Barbera look, for sure.
Yeah. Hang on. My doggy's getting sick here.
Sick?
Yeah. I'll get you to take over for a sec.
Sorcerer's Kingdom. I don't know what this is. This guy's looking like he's struggling, though. He's got some issues. Actually, this looks kind of... I don't know. I've never heard of this. What is this for? American Sammy. Okay, for the Genesis is an RPG. Huh. Anybody ever played this one? I do like a good RPG. Syndicated. The Genesis was marketed as the Mega Drive in Europe. Do you know why the Genesis was marketed as the Mega Drive? That's a good question, Mutron. Who got nicknamed Widget, and it wasn't a term of endearment? Widget. Yeah, Widget doesn't sound like it would be a good nickname. Yeah, that... The more I keep saying the word, the worse it gets. Calico Creations and Zodiac Entertainment stories were akin to Captain Planet, Save the Planet stuff. Oh. According to Wikipedia. Okay, well, Wikipedia is never wrong, obviously. Yeah. Your brother was nicknamed Wimbley from Fraggle Rock. He resembled him pretty closely. Wimbley. Which one was that? I do remember Fraggle Rock. Oh, he's the little one. Oh. Did your brother have that crazy type of hair too? You should play this on a video clip of your YouTube channel. Yeah. Well, now officially, thankfully, that we've finished the partner stuff on Twitch, I'm hoping to start up the YouTube stuff more and get some editing done that I can have. So I don't have to worry so much about the numbers and stuff over on Twitch.
Yeah, dude, that was such a grind for you. Like, what'd you do? 5 years? You've been on Twitch? How long?
Yeah, but like that's it's weird because like that stuff doesn't really. It's 5 years of streaming, but like not consistently. I feel like over the last year it was a little bit more consistent.
Started to pick up for you, yeah.
Yeah. And like trying to get partner, like the requirement is tough because like first you have to unlock the achievement to be able to apply, and that doesn't guarantee you actual acceptance. You have to stream they want 8 streams of 75 plus concurrent viewers over 3 months.
Yeah, that's tough. Like anything doing an average, and then they put the time limit on it too, right? It's like,
yeah.
Why the time limit? That's the only thing I don't really get.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a little strange. I don't know. It's just stressful because like you can't really force 75 to 100 people to be in there for 5-6 hours all the time.
Yeah, that's rough. But you did it, buddy. You don't have to worry about it. It's awesome. Absolutely amazing. So again, chat, there's almost 30 of you in here. Make sure you check out WillyLo if you haven't already on Twitch. Give him a follow and sub to him here on YouTube as well.
Stuff and things.
We are on page 144 for Bonk 3. Ooh, another grail for the Turbo. Very expensive.
I like how you just like blew over Mad Dog McCree, the real star of this.
Mad Dog McCree's a great game. Bonk 3, we saw at Brody's, but it was just the card.
Yeah.
The Hue card, that was it. And
Bonk's so good. I wish Bonk would come back.
I'm surprised he hasn't. He never got dragged into the 3D realm either. He never had to go through that crap.
Maybe it's for the best.
Maybe. I think he's a great character, man. I always thought he could stand toe-to-toe with Mario and Sonic. It's just a shame. But here you go.
He's such a cute character.
He smashes things with his head. It's amazing. Yeah. There was also a Bonk RPG that was prototyped Cutthroat that never saw the light of day either. Well,
Battletoads versus Double Dragon. Yeah.
Thank you, Chad. Appreciate it, buddy. But yeah, Battletoads versus Double D. The Double D.
Thanks, Chad. This is I love this game. I played so much of this on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
I think they labeled it Super Battletoads and Double Dragon, I think, though. Is that right?
So, yeah, for the Super Nintendo. Everything was super on Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
Right? So
yeah, I never played the NES version, but I played the Super Nintendo version.
Yeah, this to me, I don't know. Like I've said it before, nothing wrong with Battletoads. It's just never really my thing. More of a Double Dragon guy myself, but
But they're in there now. You get both. It's the best of both worlds. Toads and humans living together, beating up things.
in total harmony, which is great.
Yeah, exactly.
Metal Gear on NES is a tough one. That's a tough one, buddy. I just recently learned that the North American release of that has all the jungle crap in it. That's why the beginning of that game is so rough.
Mm-hmm.
They put that on to pad it, to change it from the MSX version. So I'm not a huge fan of the NES because of that. That jungle segment is rough, dude, when you have nothing.
Yeah.
But
and those the NES and Metal Gear Solid isn't actually like made by Kojima. It's not like part of the actual lore apparently.
The second one, Snake's Revenge, is nothing to do with Kojima's stuff, but Konami still. I don't know the story exactly, but I guess the rumor of the story is like Kojima was on this Go train with members of Konami and the people who took over, and he had to hear like what they were doing to his series in front of him. I don't know. I'd assume it's something like Capcom and Mega Man. Do you know what I mean? That kind of a deal. But yeah, Street Fighter exclusive part 2 with
Let's go.
Pretty good artwork. Pretty
so much Street Fighter. I kind of get like a little bit of Street Fighter fatigue, honestly, because I feel like the last few issues have had like Street Fighter in them like so much, and it was like I get it. It was a big thing back then, but also. It's a lot of Street Fighter.
We like this is like bigger than Super Mario Brothers, dude. Like,
yeah.
Chun-Li and Ryu are kissing here, by the way. Officially, you saw it here. World first, 1993, right here on the Jay Bartlett YouTube channel. There you go.
Huh. I feel like that was like one of my dreams. Wait, what?
What? Cammy's better. Come on. Chun-Li's great, but it's all about Cammy.
Yeah, but Cammy didn't come until later. Street Fighter 2, Cammy.
But Kylie Minogue. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's still later.
Kylie Minogue. Anyway.
Wait.
What?
Are they insinuating in this comic book that Ryu and Chun-Li just did it beside the lake here?
Well, they kissed. I don't know if they.
Well, she stood like on the ground.
I don't know if they did the Game Boy Handy or not, but
yeah, Ryu's getting his handy boy on.
Handy boy, that's it. Right, he's a player. I suppose you'd have to wait a month for the Street Fighter news. It was a bit less overload. Yeah. But it was
That's true.
I was saying, Billy, that when Street Fighter hit the scene, like I had friends that liked certain kind of games. Like my one buddy just liked sports games, but everybody played Street Fighter. It was just so huge. Like to turn people who didn't play fighting games into fighting game fans, like that's pretty powerful. And even considering how not great the first Street Fighter was, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm not saying that. Ryu's handy boy.
Where are you?
I'm on 173.
If you go back there, though, go back one page. Turok.
Yeah, it was a comic book before a game, and I always thought that the 64 game was like his debut, but it wasn't.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's kind of cool. I love Turok.
More dinos.
Turok 2, more so than the first one, but Turok's great.
Yeah. Has the thickest N64 fog you'll find this side of 64-bit.
Oh, it's rough. That's one game that's on my list. You know what? We've been out a whole bunch, as you guys know through our videos. I can't find a copy of GoldenEye complete in box that's not the greatest hits one, like the Player's Choice. It's struggling. I don't want that stupid Player's Choice emblem on it. I just want the base one. Can't find it freaking anywhere right now.
Yeah, it's got the gold. It's like the My Super Star Wars. It's got the gold Player's Choice, and it just it's bootleg.
I don't like it.
Bootleg, man.
Just like the greatest hits green. Don't like it either.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I hear you, buddy. I'm with you. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes.
Cutthroat, I agree. I love the last action hero movie. I think that personally one of Arnold's favorite best movies for me. I love that movie.
Turok the dinosaur botherer. Oh, it's good. Ladies and gentlemen, Retro Mags. Check them out, retromags.com. They have archived all this incredible video game history for us to check out. So make sure you give them some attention over there on the intronets. Would appreciate it.
Let's go. That was fun.
There you go. That was good. Yeah.
Where are we at? What's the count?
They're definitely getting longer. Let's see. I'm scared, man. Don't make me. This is going to be my last look. I'm scared. What do we got here? 99,928.
So we went up 2.
Okay, went up 2 there. Went up 2. We're getting there. I'll have something special planned for when we hit this milestone if I don't pass out before then. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. It's going to be a party. It's going to be a party. All right, Willie, I'll give you the floor.
What?
Tell all these lovely people where they can find you.
Oh, right. Yeah, I guess that's a thing. You guys can, if you guys enjoy seeing this, play some video games and stuff, you can find me over at twitch.tv/WillyLo. We play a lot of survival crafting games, but a bit more variety in between, and we are a Twitch partner officially now, too.
Woohoo!
And then you also can find me over here on YouTube, which you're going to start seeing some more content start coming out now that we've got our partner status over on Twitch. I got a bit more free time now that I can focus again on the YouTubes. So we'll be over there. We'll be here on both platforms doing the things.
Doing the things, doing the stuff.
Yeah, if you like stuff, join us. We also like stuff.
I like stuff. Do you like stuff? Get that thing out of my face. We got Community Day coming tomorrow, the best day of the week. If you're not a channel member yet, what are you waiting for? 99 cents. Join our community, join our Discord, play our games, and eat our chocolate chip muffins, right, Cutthroat?
I like chocolate chip muffins.
Cutthroat is the master of muffins, and if you are a channel member, he will mail it out to you. You heard it here first. That is his role in this community. See? Yes. He says yes. We'll put it on here to cement it. Yes.
Yes.
You go right there. I believe tomorrow we get the Star Destroyers coming down into Fortnite, which will kind of act similar to what Godzilla was like. So one person is going to get to control the Star Destroyer and basically blow up stuff on the map. It's going to be cool.
Huh.
Yeah. Gonna be a lot of fun. Star Wars. This is
I installed Fortnite again. I can't. I don't know. I'm just not feeling it right lately. I don't know why.
Dude, you got to play with us. That's why. You got to play with the Legends Club, as you two are a part of that club, and rock and roll. You got to experience Cutthroat in the game, the loot goblin, we call him, because
that makes sense.
No matter what happens, he'll steal your loot. It doesn't matter. Do you have a gun? It doesn't even matter if you have a gun. He doesn't care. He'll take it, and then he'll leave a muffin and say, forget about it over here.
Yeah, I definitely see Cutthroat as a loot goblin.
Anyone get the custom Mando skins? I did not. But that skin is tempting. Was it 1,800? Man, that's expensive. I don't know.
That is a lot.
I bought Negan for the week, or was that last week? I usually get one a week, but I'm not spending 18 on that. But there you go.
You got a creator code on Epic yet?
I'm going to get one. I know Brian's got one. A very smart move for sure.
Yeah. It's not. You should be able to get one pretty easy now. You just got to play.
Alex Kidd.
Play enough Fortnite.
Yeah, absolutely. Get one of those. Guys, you've been wonderful audience. Will, are you here next week or not? I can't remember.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Should be.
So, look like we're going to do another, maybe a race or something fun. We'll do some gaming.
You get to choose this time. I got to choose the last ones.
We'll do a race for next week. Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun.
Wait, am I here next week?
Billy, thanks for hanging out, buddy. Glad to have you here.
Bye. Bye, friends. Thanks for having me.
We'll see you guys bright and early in the morning, and let's keep fingers crossed. We're getting road to 100,000 subs. I'm gonna puke. I'm gonna get sick, but stay tuned. Good things, my friends. Have yourselves a great day.